All right, everybody, welcome to a fantastic week in finals football. Sorry, Mark. Finals football it's like when you play footy after the season. We'll explain it to you later. You'll be right. You'll be right. It's
Yeah,
like
that's
when you
all right.
after the season. So, how are we going out there? What a week it's been, mate. Up and down, all over the place, mate. We've got everyone's here. We've got one of our favourites. He's the big man. He loves kind of Tigers. Tigers have got a big off season coming up. Got Lou. We've got Jay, of course. We've got Scotty Tompkins. It's been a bit windy. It has. He also asked. I don't understand what this means. Who will win Scoops medal in 2024? What Scoops? Explain to us what Scoops is.
Yes.
Is he talking about, Scotty? Are we talking about kick it to Scoops? Is that who we're referring to? That's what I was talking about before we went live. So I'd like some clarification on it if we can get that.
Yeah, no, definitely. We need to unpack this Scoops kind of drama. So we got Lone Wolf again every week for $5. Lone Wolf, and I love that picture. It's a bit like just quietly. I like Indians because I've got my Indian on my chest. I've had since I was. So yeah,
Nice.
Indians are a bit of a mystical thing for me. I like them. Hey, hope the free rivals are enjoying September holidays. Wow, for Mark, it's familiar territory, but he gets the two other rivals to join him this week. Yeah, you can all go to bloody Rye there, and you can all go and have like 4 weeks off while I'm busy. While I'm busy preparing for fucking finals and shit. It's just going to be such a busy 2 weeks for me. We got Okamata evening rivals. We got our favorite Grebe. We're officially dead, and then tell me about it. We'll talk about that. Before everyone asks, here we go. Where's Manny? Look, Manny, just like his Collingwood team, just don't show up at times. They just disappear. They don't like the contest. Just like Dacos always like strides away from the contest, tries to get the easy ball out the back. So that's what he is. Now, Manny's coming on soon. He'll be about half an hour late. He's having birthday dinner with because of his daughter. So happy birthday.
Oh, so he's coming on, Rocco. Is he coming on tonight?
Yeah, no, he's coming on. Yeah, no, he's
I thought
coming
he was
on.
taking his holidays a little bit earlier, mate. That's all. I thought he was maybe taking.
No, he easily does. Collingwood took their holidays halfway through the year, mate. That's what they did. We've got George here. Hey, Rocco. Yes. I can't say that surname, so don't even try. Maybe you, Quinny. How do you say that surname? Cialis.
Yeah, that'd be my best guess. That'd be my best guess. I don't want to butcher it on the poor guy, so I'll leave it be.
Oh, here we go. Kick it to Scoop is doing a Brownlow vote right now. Yeah, kick it to Scoop. He's an interesting bloke. We should get Scoop on. Mate. He'd be an interesting. What do you reckon, Scotty?
He's a peculiar dude. So he's a massive St Kilda fan, but he's also a player sponsor of one of the AFLW Western Bulldogs players. So I'm not quite sure what's going on there with Scoop. So he'd be a good cat.
Is he for the male or for the females?
He's a female player sponsor, AFLW.
Yeah, but he's big into the female AFLW. He does a lot of that. I don't think he can get anyone else to interview, so he gets all the females on, and lately he's been doing kicking comms with it. Nah, he's a good man. We also got Rob Galicchio. He says again, thanks Quinny for the ticket.
No worries, Rob. Anytime, mate.
At the show, we got everyone here. So we got Carls. Hey, Carls. He's a jumper punch panelist or couch person, I suppose. Yeah, he's the sole administrator of the AFL information, trade rumors, and results. He is too. Yeah, he is too.
I got a quick question for Scotty if he gets a chance. Let me know, Scotty, if you've been banned or removed from the Facebook page just yet, because Scoops has this thing where he just bans people all the time. So if you're a true fan, you've been banned at one point. So I want to know. Let me know, Scotty.
With us, Scoop, he's the type where, man, if he doesn't get enough views and that, he gets upset and he goes online and he tells everyone how upset and how much work he's put in. Ethan, all right, I'm not going to say that. Is that? Anyway, this bloke here, footy.
Don't say it.
No. Footy, he's booked in for the Blues already, Rocco. No chance, surely. Hey, there's always a chance. Isn't there, Mark? There's always a chance if you're there, aren't you? You can't say.
Mathematically and statistically, there's always a chance.
Yeah, so Mr. Cox over there. I think you almost got me, man. We're getting there. Careful, Rocco. Yes. Very good. Can the chat please look after me? Make sure you get right onto it and make sure, because I'm just a dumbass like that. Yeah, Rocco Moro, what are we doing? Everyone's leaving the Tiger Den. Yes, we'll be talking about that. Everyone is fleeing the Tiger Den. Don't say it, Rocco. Don't say it. Enzo, he's a big fan. He'll be there on Saturday night. Yes. Yeah, look at this. Gokhan, our favourite. He was on the couch last night. Our Snitz sponsor. How are you, Gokhan? Yes, Rocco been fished already. Fucking good, man. I'm telling you. He's getting good, man. I almost went out and did it. Here you go. He reckons he's a few close calls, Quinny. He's talking about Scoop. I reckon he would have been close because he would have been close. He's got all right. So we're there. All right. So we'll speak first of all, Quinny. After all that, how are we going? How you feeling, mate? Season's over. Pain is gone for you. No more pain.
Now, a lot of you guys might know the movie. It's a bit of an older one, so a few of the young people might not know. But have you ever seen the movie Old Yeller? Now, I know we're talking really old here, but have you seen the movie Old Yeller? And it gets to the point where they just have to put the poor thing down because, it's too cruel to let him go. That's how I feel. I feel like Old Yeller right now. I've finally been put out of my misery. I can relax. I can watch football without wanting to shoot myself. So, no, it's good. I'm actually quite optimistic about the off season we've got coming up. We'll talk a bit more about it, but no, I'm all right. I'm relieved, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, it is. Look, we've been there. Carlton have been there many, many times, mate, where you just have terrible years, man. And at the end of it, even though you kind of miss that you're not going to be watching it, but even when you're getting punished, I still love going to watch my team. You know what I mean? I don't like the results, but I want to see my team, So you're kind of a little bit upset that you're not going to see them, but you do need that break. It's just like you just need some relief now because you can't keep getting tortured like that every week, man. It's just like it's hurtful.
It eats up on you.
Yes, yeah. I cry when he shoots a dog. Yeah, that's a pretty sad movie at the end. Old Yeller. Yeah. That is a good movie. Yeah, sending you hugs, Queen. Yeah, we're all thinking about it. That's what we do when like we always feel sorry for the misfortunate, So
fantastic. Yeah, look, obviously, Quinn, not for anything, I'm not going to get too much into detail, but you've won something this year. You've at least won something this year. Not like Manny showed it, but it was the wooden spoon, mate.
Yeah? Oh, yes. Yeah.
You've won something this year, Quinn. The Richmond Football Club have won something, and it's called the wooden spoon, mate. Congratulations to the Richmond Football Club in achieving that. But yeah, apart from that, good evening all. And there's been some ridiculous windy conditions going on at the moment from Jane Bunn that's been notifying me at the moment, saying that the storms are getting worse and we need to protect our homes and make sure there's no trampolines outside.
Wow. And, First of all, La Cucchiaia, mate. That's what he won, the La Cucchiaia, mate. The wooden spoon, mate. That's very true, man. You have one. That's pretty sad. You won the fucking wooden spoon. And you won the wooden spoon, and North Melbourne's in the competition, for crying out loud. How bad is that?
I haven't seen a wooden spoon since I was living at home with my mum, and I used to get in trouble and I was running away from one. That's how long it's been since I've seen one. So unfamiliar territory.
So, Quinn, sorry, mate, throughout the show, I might just eventually just swing the wooden spoon out, mate, just to, not going to give it to you, Richmond boys, so easy, mate, all right?
I'd expect nothing less from you, Mark. I'd expect nothing less.
Now, shout out to Jane Bunn. Look, I have to admit that Jane Bunn I had a crush on Jane Bunn for a very long time, and she's definitely one of the better news weather reporters. And apparently, she's the only one who's actually got a degree in what is it? In what do you
meteorology?
Meteorology. That's it. She's the only one that's got a degree. Yeah. So she, I used to follow her on her Facebook page. That's how obsessed I was with Jane Bunn, only because she tells the weather so well. That's the reason.
So well. She holds it so well.
So let's get into this one quickly, and of course not quickly, but and you were just talking about Jane Bunn and telling you to secure everything down, and what better way to secure everything down?
Spot on.
Is with CARLTON security doors and blinds. We protect your family and your home, most importantly. Yeah. So
come on, Rocco, sing this song. Come on.
All right, let's do
it, brother.
This has become one of my favorite parts of the show, mate. Let's do it together, mate. Now, what I want everyone in the chat to do is I want everyone to sing along to me, right? Because you all know the words. Let's all sing along. So 1, 2, 3, 4. If you want your family to be safe, CARLTON security doors and blinds is the place that don't support our forever rivals. And again, we miss
mate.
And don't forget the ring 83394848. And don't forget the ring 83394848.
Fantastic, Rocco. Yes, give us a call on 83394848 for a free measuring quote. Search, like, and follow us on Facebook. Yeah, of course. Mention Forever Rivals and the Jumper Punch will receive 10% off. 10%. You can't go wrong. Refer us to your friends, family, work colleagues, builders, renovators, etc. And we're happy to give you guys a free measuring quote. But, obviously protect your home. And most importantly, your familia.
100%. Now, you know what you should have done, Mark? Like, you got to think ahead about these things, mate. You should think about ahead. What you should do is you should give everyone 11% off where you finished on the ladder. See, that should be the smart thing, right?
Oh, I'm happy to give you 11% off. 11%. That's it. Minimum.
Lucky you didn't finish on the bottom, mate. It would have been 18% off, but 11% off this week for where the Essendon Bombers finish, mate. 11th on the ladder. We're going to talk about that, and I'm going to get.
We'll keep that, Rock, mate. 11% off.
All right, done. 11% off this week. That is a shout out to Jane Bunn. Everyone's talking what's 2020? What's 2024 and 204 equal to? 4,000 and. What is it?
I think he's trying to work out the percentage that we should get. So 2004 was the last time Bombers won a final. So 20 years.
There you go. 20 years.
I think that's what he's getting at.
I like it. Here we go. He's going to
I didn't say it, Mark. I didn't say it.
He's a Richmond supporter.
Yeah, no, he is. He is. Fair game.
Is this true? I didn't know this. Is this true? Did Mark say if Essendon didn't make the finals, he would leave the show? Did he say that?
I don't know. I'll have to do my research on that.
Yeah, Lewis, if you want me to leave the show, more than welcome, mate. If there's any other viewers out there that want me to leave, just give me a heads up. There is still there's still another 3 or 4 weeks to go to the finals, so I'll keep going until the end.
Just wait till Manny comes back before you leave. That's all.
Yeah, 100%. We're going to do a live sing along of the CARLTON song at the live show this week, and talking about all that. First of all, just quickly. Make sure you get onto it's in the For the Record, Off the Record, and get behind my mate Rash with his new book. And actually, we have got the new hard copy now, so you'll be able to get one of them at the show. So follow the great man. Also, this is what we're talking about, mate. It's only 3 days away, so everyone get your tickets. There's some more tickets left. They've been going. We're almost hit our target, so get your tickets. Link is below. It's going to be great. As you can see, I spoke to Heath this week, and I spoke to Simons, mate. They're excited. They're coming down. We've got plenty of questions we're going to ask them. We're going to get the audience, mate, to ask questions to the boys, so they can get out there and ask. And they're going to be in there. They're going to be there hanging around, have a drink with them. So that'll be good. So make sure you get your tickets. There's limited time. There's only 2 days to go. And, yeah, we're almost full capacity, but there is a few more tickets left. Get down there. It's going to be a big one, especially since the Blue Boys are in the final. Let's be serious, man. So if you do, when you get down there, we're going to have to say thanks to Oldman. He is the proud sponsor of the show and also of TJP. So if you get down there and if you're out there, that means you purchase a ticket. You're going to join the Telegram, and there's a QR code that's going to be there. You're going to go in the draw to win. Well, it's pretty much 500,000 tokens in total. First prize, 300,000. I'm telling you, that's a good deal. So you'll be able to do that on the night if you're there. If you got your ticket, you'll be able to scan and you'll be able to do it, mate. Come down. I'm telling you, get those tickets, because on the night we've got a raffle going. First prize is the Heritage Top signed by the leadership group at Carlton. So that's a big, big first prize, man. And then we've got second prize. We've got some merch to give away. We've also got other giveaways. We have got a handball competition going on. So we've got the big handball. We've got the big target there. So you'll be handballing against Simon Wiggins and Heath Scotland. So that'll be good. So there'll be prizes for there. There's plenty of drinks, tickets. Yes, as I said, there is definitely tickets available, and they are coming to a close. So I'm going to say there's about 10 or so tickets left to the show, which we're pretty stoked about. But yeah, get your tickets, mate. Get on there and get your tickets. The link is below in the description, or you go to trybooking.com. But the link is below. Click on and get your tickets. Come on, Ty. Come in there and get your tickets. Bring all your mates. It's going to be good. Scotty Tompkins going to be there. He's going to be made a star. I'm telling you, Oz, he's one of the winners. He's going to be there. Valentino's going to be there. Unfortunately, he won't be there because he lives in Perth. Peter, bobblehead. Yeah, if the quote is less than 20, you should get 20%. Oh, that's it, 20 years, mate. So Peter Bobblehead's going to be there. All these blokes are going to be there. Let's see. Heath Scotland with Mr. Cox here. Heath Scotland has the handball only, and I bet you he'll still beat you. I'm going to have to say Heath Scotland, seriously, was one of the best left and right kickers I've ever seen, mate. He could kick on both feet, right, without missing a beat. He was such a good player, mate. Probably the best Collingwood player we ever got from a Collingwood team. Yeah, so, and that's it. So we'll keep on going, keep putting up the comments. Make sure you get your tickets, and we'll keep putting that up. What else we got here? I reckon we move into summer. Oh, guess what, guys? We are missing something, aren't we? Here he is.
A very warm good evening to everyone, and I apologise.
I'm going off. Nah, I'm not coming on here. Nah.
But you know what?
Oh, he's got the Blues top. What the fuck is going on there, mate? He's on the Blues bandwagon.
Well, listen. I've got to be fair. I've got to be fair. At the end of the day, Collingwood missed out by a very small percentage. And that's the way it is. Carlton's playing finals football, and if Carlton's playing Brisbane, I want the Blues to win. You know what I mean? It'll make a happy wife, happy life.
You got a
as simple as that. As simple as that.
Mate, I think you got some mates there. You got Manny VIP Blue Bagger. There you go, mate. Look at this.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yes, and I apologise for coming on a little bit late, and unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to hang around for too long, as it's my daughter's birthday today, and she's decided to invite all the Rallos over. So, I said to the wife, I've got to go on the show. I said I've got to do the right thing. Marco, how are you, mate? It's
good, mate. Happy birthday to the little one, mate. Happy birthday to the little one. How old?
And same with your little 15 years old.
Yep. Yesterday, mate.
Happy birthday to Tennille, matey.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Are you going to cancel your imaginary bloody pies membership this year? Are you cancelling it?
Come on, mate. I've got Collingwood memberships coming out of my nostrils. I've got, you know what? I might even go one step further, and I might even buy a membership for one of our lucky viewers. Stay tuned.
Oh, there you go.
Stay tuned.
Wednesday, I think I'm going to get Jamie from work to come on, and he's got a story to tell us.
Oh yeah, Jamie, nice bloke, Jamie.
Yeah, he's got a story about memberships and that to tell us, so I'll get him on.
yeah, definitely.
Everyone's giving you the happy birthdays, mate. Happy birthday, yes. What is your daughter's name?
Diana,
happy birthday, Diana. And Mark?
Tennille, she turned 15 years old yesterday.
Tennille, happy birthday to Tennille. So even though they bury for shit teams, happy birthday to him.
Hey, Quinn, how are you, matey? Have you been making a lot of soup with that wooden spoon of yours?
No, I've been borrowing Mark's one. He's been flashing around all night there, Manny. So I was saying it's an interesting feeling, but Mark's got me covered for tonight, so I'm all ready to go. Thank you for asking, though, mate.
Hey, Mark, you should have done one thing, mate, and you should have put yellow texture and black texture across.
Oh, yeah, we could have done.
I was going to do that, mate, but I thought the missus, cooking the pasta and the mortadella and the salami, and I don't think it's going to work. So,
okay.
That was my spare one.
Scoop's got the leadership board update after Scotty Tom's got the Scoops leader. So Adam Chiroli's on 18, 17 for Isaac Heaney, and 16 for Dacos. So Scotty's going to keep us updated for the kick at the Scoop leaderboard tonight.
Well, what's happening tonight?
Don't worry, you missed it all. But Scoop's another YouTuber. And he's doing a Brownlow
Chris
live.
and Zach Merritt on that.
What's that? So we got thank you very much for Ty. Looking forward to the show, boys, mate. So I think he just bought a ticket to the show. So looking forward, and thanks for the $2.99. All right, we'll keep going with that, but what we'll do now is we'll go straight into this one. Now, as I was saying, I was just telling Mark that Manny, you missed it, but I was just telling Mark how what happens this week is all the teams that make the top 8, they play in this thing called the finals, and I know Mark doesn't know what that is, but so what happens next week is that all the teams that finished above 9th, they end up like playing extra games. Mark, you thought there was like 22 games in it, 24 games in a year, didn't you? And everything just stopped. You didn't know there was extra games, did you?
Oh, there's extra games, but we're not probably used to playing those extra games at the moment. But there is extra games.
You thought that the season ended at the end of August, didn't you? But it goes for another month, Mark.
Does it?
Yeah, it's called finals, Mark.
Actually,
but what do you mean it goes for an extra month? For who? For which? What do you mean? I don't get what you're trying to say here, Rocky. It goes for an extra month.
Yeah. Other teams that make it above 9th actually get to play
An extra full month? They play for an extra full month of football, or do they just play? Oh, right. Okay. An extra full month of football. So that they've got to make the grand final.
Yeah. Some teams make it all the way. Some teams play for an extra month. Right.
And some teams play just for one extra week.
Some people play for 2 weeks, and some teams play for 1 week. But what I'm saying is, I'm just trying to educate you that after August,
I'm educated. I know exactly what you're trying to say.
After August, there's actually football being played. You didn't know. You
correct.
Thought yeah.
The finals. I might have to send this to you. It's basically it's good because it's designed for people who are dyslexic. So you should find this quite easy to read there, Quinn, Marco. But don't be discouraged because I'm also dyslexic myself. I don't know if I've ever told you guys this, but I got invited to a toga party many years ago, and I got dressed up as a goat. So
save it for the end of the show, Manny.
Whose club out of the 4 rivals has the most wooden spoons? Well, I'm not sure, but
CARLTON.
then we started getting some Essendon, and apparently
CARLTON
and Essendon both have 5.
And
So
Richmond's coming close.
No, I think that's the only one, isn't it?
No, we would have had one before, surely.
Yeah.
Around 2004, 2005, when Essendon were last winning finals, we were pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, but being bad and finishing last is another thing. Well, apparently Richmond has 7 now. I don't know who's right and who's wrong here. Maybe you can research this, Quinny.
Yeah, I think this could be our 7th or 8th. I've just looked up.
Richmond has 8. It keeps building. Now they have 8.
Here we go. Let's have a look. Yeah, so
Port Adelaide's
Richmond,
the only team. Port Adelaide's the only team that has not yet got a wooden spoon.
So this is going by Wikipedia, so let's not hold too much onto that. But Carlton have 5, Essendon have 5, Richmond have 8, and Collingwood has done the best with only 2 in 1976 and 1999. But in saying that, like Rosh said in the comments, Richmond only have 2 in the AFL era, which makes it seem a little bit better.
It's like we got 5, you got 2, you got 8. What about St Kilda? 27 wooden fucking spoons, mate. That's like 1 every 3 years, mate. That is, I'm telling you.
And you know who's second worst? Second worst is North Melbourne on 15. So nearly half as many as St Kilda. That's how bad they've been.
I'm telling you, I know St Kilda won on the weekend, but if they're not the most irrelevant side in the fucking whole competition, no wonder fucking Jesus Christ, they are shit.
Wow, that is. But so just so in regards to finals football, Mark, it's sad to say, but you guys have actually gone one step lower this year. Last year, you nearly.
You guys have gone 10 steps lower this year, mate. So.
Well, no, you can't say that because we finished 9th on 52 points.
Okay, Benny.
Well, it is what it is. I mean, you can't take away. Oh, look, I'm not going to make excuses, but it's fair to say that Carlton's probably one team who's experienced what Collingwood's experienced this year, and that's been injuries. Injuries have dominated. I mean, Richmond. Okay, Richmond is
Richmond.
Yeah, but Richmond at the moment they're going through that rebuilding phase, so it's a bit different. Hey, Alec, you want to say hello to the team over here?
Alec.
Yeah, look at that another Magpie supporter.
Hey, Alex,
I feel sorry for you, fella.
Question. What are we doing for the next 4 weeks, mate?
Playing basketball.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. That's
You
a
know,
good idea. Come play
actually
basketball.
being competitive.
You can join Mark. You can join Mark in the next 4 weeks.
More than welcome, buddy. More than welcome.
Come on, say it. Say it. At least we won it last year. Come on, say it.
Well, we did. We won it last year, didn't we?
No, but at least we actually earned our spot in the A, unlike Carlton. They just got lucky.
Oh,
Heavy words.
Come back, Alex. Come back, Alex. Come back, Alex. Where have you gone?
Get out of here, Alec, while you still can.
Oh, no.
Where have
Many,
you gone, mate?
many. Here we go again.
But, you know,
No, he's got a point there. He's got a point there.
no, look, he doesn't. This is what I was trying to explain. I was trying to explain that to him, Mark, and I'm trying to explain this to you know, people who were saying to me, "Oh, Carlton was lucky." You know what? Football is a game of luck. Now, at the end of the day, we can sit here and make excuses, but if Fremantle did win, right, what would have happened? They didn't. Both teams lost, and at the end of the day, Carlton had a better percentage. And when you're looking at it overall across the year, Carlton was probably one of the teams that was really, really unlucky in the last 5-6 weeks, yeah? To be fair. You know, this is like, you know, if you were talking to anyone 6 weeks, 7 weeks ago, they were saying Carlton's looking hot favourites. Now, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised because sometimes you just never know. You know, it's 2 weeks away from playing against Brisbane. You know, they might pick up some new players that come on board, some injuries, etc., etc. You know, I would be surprised if they do. They beat Brisbane, and if they beat Brisbane, I reckon they'll be. I reckon Carlton Sydney grand final, my friend. There's a statement for you.
Well, first of all, before you go on, turn it up. Buying a ticket to the shower, and he's looking 4-wheel drive to it. So I think he might be saying he bought a ticket to the show and he's looking forward to it. But if it is to the shower, yeah, I want to be part of that.
Hopefully it's not a golden one.
We'll talk about how lucky Carlton was, and I'm sure that Collingwood and I'm sure Essendon would have been happy to be lucky to get in there too. But we'll talk about lucky, because if anyone watched my show last night, you would have seen my rant, and I explained what lucky means, right? So we'll go on with it. First of all, there were some comments here. There were some comments here that I liked. Hold on. I like this one here, which was an interesting fact. Essendon are soft as marshmallows, and that's why they don't get injuries. Sorry, it wasn't that one there, but I just thought that was funny. Now, there was another one here about Fitzroy. There was one about Fitzroy. But anyway, in 19, whatever season it was, they actually finished last on the ladder, which was there's only 4 teams playing. They finished 4th on the ladder. They finished last, and they won the premiership. So what happens there, mate? You've got the wooden spoon and the premiership in the same bloody year.
Yeah, 1916.
1916.
Long time ago, mate. Long time ago.
There you go.
That's interesting.
I think it's
they won the spoon and the grand final. Wow, that's a bloody amazing fact, mate. Our bloody viewers, they're so smart. So yeah, hit the like button, everyone. There's 66 people on. Everyone hit the like button.
Like I say, I've just looked it up, so I can see in 1916 Fitzroy won the wooden spoon, but somehow so did Richmond. So I'm thinking what's happened is Fitzroy have finished the home and away season last, and then potentially at the end of the final season, Richmond was then last. That's the only explanation I've got, unless Wikipedia is just glitching, which is also another.
That makes sense, because then once you finish wooden spoon, and then because they were it's like Carlton last year, they finished 5th, but after the final series, they were actually 3rd.
Yeah,
because they made the preliminary. So that makes sense to me. Yeah. Here we go. Matula's got an answer for your son. How we were lucky. We were in the A for most of the season. It's not our fault Freo didn't take the opportunity to jump in the A. Freo lost, mate. If you want to talk about the Blues, Freo lost their last 4 games. How is that my fault? How is that my fault? And last week in round 23, we were in the A. How are we lucky? Like, it just doesn't make sense, man. Like, really,
No,
we finish
I think Matula's right.
We finish above 10 other sides. We finish with points of 52 points, a percentage of 110.
Yeah.
All right, I've got a question for you guys, and I posed this last night, right? If we were lucky, who deserved to make the finals?
Richmond.
Well, I mean, look, at the end of the day, Rocco, it's a very good question. I honestly think, to be fair, and I think Essendon was probably the most unluckiest side to not make it in finals football this year, purely because
But did they deserve it? Did they deserve it? They lost 6 out of their last 7 games. They finished with a percentage of 93, which is, again, 2 years in a row they finished with a percentage that is so low, it's actually like a little bit of a disgrace. And so did they deserve to make the 8? They finished 6 points below the 8th spot with a percentage of 93, lose 6 out of their last 7 games.
So I'll tell you who's
the Magpies. Sorry, I think I was going to say that not because I'm Collingwood, but I think the Magpies managed to turn things around over the last 4 or 5 weeks.
But did you deserve to make it? I mean, your percentage was only 102, right? You finished on the same amount, but your percentage was lower. And in actual fact, you drew 2 games. So how can you be more deserving than us? Did Fremantle deserve it? They lost their last 4. You know, what else?
So are you asking the question, is there a team that deserves it?
Yeah, more than us. But people go, you were lucky. But if we were lucky, then who deserved to take our spot?
Nobody. You deserve to get the spot because everything's based on luck.
So that word luck really ODs me, because that's really a salty answer by people. When you say it's luck, there's no luck, mate. I said this last night. Tell me if you think that Bradbury won the gold medal in the skating, if it was lucky that he won it. Was he lucky to win it?
Yeah, he was lucky to win. Yeah.
Well, he answers it because at the end of the day, he says that you say it's luck, but no one saw the work that he put in to get to that position to have a win. And then in the second point, the rules state that the first skater to pass the finish line is the winner. It's not his fault that the other 3 trip over. Like, isn't that part of skating to not trip over? And then you trip over and you go, oh, you were lucky. Well, don't fucking trip, mate. Right? Yeah. And it's the same with Carlton. You go, oh, you were lucky. Well, win one of your last 4 games then, mate.
I had a
22. We did exactly the same. We lost our last 4 games and we missed out the finals by percentage. Right? Yeah. Are you going to say to the doggies who benefited that year, right, were they lucky? They earned their spot in the fucking 8, mate. The rules state, it's simple. At the end of the home and away, the top 8 sides with the most points and percentage get a chance for finals. So how are they lucky?
I reckon it involves a little bit of all the above, right? I don't think you can get the whole way through the season without a little bit of luck, but obviously it doesn't do it all for you. That you have to have some things that fall into place. That, you know, like injuries, for example. Some teams don't make it because of injuries and they're unlucky. But
of course.
And things like that. So, but again, I do agree with you, Rock. It's the hard work that goes into it and everything beforehand. But if you want to talk about who's unlucky to not make it this year, I'm not saying they are or they aren't, but an interesting stat I saw today was this is the first season where any team that's was on 50 points or above didn't make the top 8. So Collingwood and Fremantle are both on 50 points, didn't make the top 8. In any other year in history, they play finals. So I don't want to say they're unlucky, but that's a stat that's that's something new this year.
Collingwood was on 52 points.
Yeah, Freo was on 50. I said, yeah.
50 and above. 50 and above.
And someone said to me, and this came from a Carlton supporter. Yeah, he said to me that when you've got two teams that finish as close as what Collingwood and Carlton did, right? I know they work on the percentage, but what they should have done is they should have looked at how many times did Carlton beat Collingwood in the year.
That's only if there's a draw. That's why you got percentage, Manny. Like, that's a stupid argument. So, in other words, if you're saying that, then you just take our percentage.
Well, the fact that we beat you twice.
It doesn't matter. You still, the rules state, like, it doesn't matter that you beat us twice. What's that got to do with it? Right?
No, it doesn't. But I'm just saying, this came from a Carlton supporter.
Yeah, but it must be someone like Ken who's fucking got no idea about football, right? So that's what it would have been. But that's the most ridiculous. So then do we do that for first spot? Do we do it for third and fourth? Like, how far do you go? It's just a ridiculous statement. I know that people tell you, Manny, but like, think about it before you kind of like spit it out. Because that's why percentage is there. It's like taking out the points.
Rocco, don't shit the messenger here, mate. I'm the one who came on the show with a blue scarf around my.
It's a ridiculous statement. And what about this? If you're going to say that, right? Carlton won more games, but we won more games. So where do you go? Not technically, we won more games.
Well, is a draw not a win?
So a draw's a win, is it? I don't know in what fucking country a draw's a win. That's why it's called a draw.
Well, maybe this is what they need to do. Is if two teams do draw, I think they should not be rewarded with any points.
No, but even if, like, it doesn't matter. Like, regardless of that, if you want to go into, like, what should they do or should they do extra time, that's not the point. The point is a draw is a draw. It's not a win.
No.
And it's not a loss.
No.
It's a draw. That's it. No. So at the end of the day, you didn't win the game.
No. But
so we won more games.
But you know, the irony of all that, though, is, Rocco, that had Collingwood did end up in the top 8,
yes,
over Carlton by, say, the percentage, you would have turned around and said, well, look at that. Carlton won more games, and yet they miss out on the 8, you know, because of the fact that
you would have had to win another game.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that had we had better percentage than you guys, right?
Yeah.
It would have shown that what you just said is true, that Collingwood was playing finals, and yet we won more games than them. That's the irony of this year.
But I would have said no, because at the end of the day, it's about how many points you end up with.
Yeah.
And you ended up with that, but your percentage was lower. Like, you weren't good enough during the year to get enough percentage. Really, 102 is not a good enough percentage.
Well, it's not. No, it's proven that it's not.
It's proven. And now Rat Poison has come up with the dumbest thing I've ever heard. A draw is half a game, so 2 draws is 1 win. No,
Obviously.
not in no country is 2 draws worth a win, right? If you equate this to soccer, I've never heard them add up the draws and go, oh, that's like 4 wins.
Oh no. But what he's saying, Rocco, when you look at it, what he's saying does make sense, because Collingwood had 2 draws. They've got 2 points off one, 2 points off the other, so that there's a win.
No,
but technically it's 2 draws.
No,
but it's 2 draws.
No. 2 draws is worth 4 points. Yeah, right. But it's not a win.
No, it's not.
So
but it's equal.
That it's a fucking win.
No, but it's equal to a win.
No,
that's what he's saying.
In points.
Yeah, in points. That's right.
But not in wins. You didn't win.
No, No, that's right.
That's it. So, in other words, it's a failure on the day, right? When the two teams draw, right? Sometimes you say, oh, there's a winner or there's a loser because someone comes from behind or someone. I understand that in theory, right? But in reality, none of you are winners, right?
No.
And none of you are losers. It drew the game. That's it. That's where it stops.
Yeah.
We got an update. We got an update. Round 20, 26 to Alan Giroux, 23 to Schneasel, Tom Green, Dacos, Lucky Neil. It's getting intense, mate. Thanks for the update, mate, from Scoop. Kick at the scoop. What do we got here? We got Seba in the Seba.
I'd love to see. I'd love to see the setup that Scotty's got going on at home. He's got one screen with Forever Rivals, the other screen with Scoops going on, front bar on another one.
I'm telling you, he's a psycho. I reckon during the week he would watch 25 to 30 hours of content and comments on everything. He's a
machine.
Paul's a Collingwood supporter. Hi, Rocco, the Rivals. Love the show. I'd like to congratulate on making the finals. As a Collingwood, I'm very sad and disappointed, but that's footy, yes. And so he's one of the better ones.
You see how Marco, take some notes, mate. This is a Collingwood supporter. You know why? Because my team provides me with finals football, grand finals, etc. You know what I mean? So, you know, we get a chance to sort of dip our finger in the pie and have a bit of a taste.
Yeah.
Whereas you poor bastards, I mean, the only thing you guys have been tasting is whatever it is. Is it drugs? What is it? You guys don't know what it is.
You like to stir the pot, don't you, mate? The old
No. I think it's just reality.
They're a little bit cold this year, mate. So going on the unlucky teams to make the finals. If you want my opinion on it, I think Essendon, Freo, and the Gold Coast were unlucky to make the finals. As for the Carlton, and
why you got to give a reason and forget about that. But you got to give a reason. You can't just say that, right? So tell me why, because it's your team.
Look,
listen. Wait, let me finish my question, Mark.
No.
Listen,
I think most besides the Collingwood and Carlton and possibly Richmond supporters out there, Essendon being top four the last probably 15 weeks, should have made the 8, and we deserved to make the 8, but we didn't.
So, you didn't deserve. No, Mark,
we're unlucky. We're unlucky. Yeah. We should have won some games. Listen to me. We should have won some games.
I'm not going to let you keep going because you're wrong. You are wrong. So in what you just said, Carlton only 6 or 7 weeks ago were top 2, right? So now what you're saying is we're unlucky we didn't make top 4, and GWS and Geelong don't deserve top 4.
Yeah, no, I'm saying the top 8, Rocco. I'm saying that we should have made the top 8 in the position that we were, and unfortunately we lost a few games that we should have won. As for Freo, same concept. A little bit with Essendon, give and take 50-50 win or lose games.
You did not deserve to make the 8. I
didn't say we deserved it, mate. I just said that we were unlucky to make the 8. I didn't say we deserved it.
So that means you deserve it. If you're unlucky,
we're unlucky to make the 8. We should have won some games that we should have. We should have won some games that we should have.
So should have we. So should have Collingwood.
So you guys were lucky to make the 8, but I could look at that differently and say you guys were unlucky. You should have been unlucky to make the 8, because for me, Carlton and Collingwood was supposed to be right up there towards top 4 this year.
So what? And we talked about
unfortunately, what I can see is that Carlton lost. They lost and made the finals. When you lose, and make the finals, and you're going to rely on another team,
I'm not going to accept that,
finals, you shouldn't be there. You shouldn't be there.
I'm not going to accept that. You know why? Because you're taking one game in isolation. What about the other 13 fucking games?
Carlton, the last
Wait a
5.
second. No, when I ask you a question, you answer it, right? Do not avoid the fucking question, right?
What's the question, Rocco?
Well, this is the problem with you. I asked a question, right? And you were already thinking about what you wanted to say, right? I asked you a question. You're taking one game in isolation. Correct? What about the other, the Carlton St Kilda game you're taking in isolation, right? What about the other 13 games that we won?
Yeah, but you're talking about 13 games that you've won. Those 13 games, you've moved in between those 13 games. What has your performance been in the last 6 games, Rocco? Shit outs. Okay, I'm not going against Carlton here, but Carlton haven't proved
Wait a second.
the last 6 weeks.
I'm not going to let you go over this. Listen to me.
I'm not. I'm answering the question, Rocco. You're talking about 13 games.
No, you didn't answer the question. No, you didn't answer the question. What you did was you pushed the question aside and you try to push your agenda again. Right? That's exactly what you've done. That's what you've done. I've asked you a question, right? What about the other 13 games? Do they not count?
Of course they count.
Well,
what
then
about
your explanation.
What about the last 11 games that Essendon won? Do they count?
At the end of the day, yeah, and at the end of the day, when you take your shitty wins, right, they weren't enough. Yes, because they weren't enough. They weren't enough.
You're talking about 4 points, mate.
No, it's not 4 points, Rocco. No, it's not, Mark. No, it's not. You got it wrong again. No, it's not. It's 6 points, right? That's the first thing.
We should have bet Collingwood because it was a draw.
No, but you didn't. Again, you should have. This is a problem with the Essendon Football Club because people like you are delusional, right? You finished on 46 points, Mark, with a percentage. You finished with 46 points and a percentage of 93, Mark. The only 3 other sides that were worse than you, right, was North Melbourne, West Coast, and Richmond. You had the worst percentage in 16 or 15 other sides, mate. You finished on 46. You got 6 out of your last 7, and you dare try to convince everyone that you are a deserving final side.
No, I didn't say we're deserving. I said we were unlucky. And that was the question that you asked us, boys. Who was unlucky not to make the finals? And I just answered that question. I said Richmond. I said Essendon, Freo, and Gold Coast. Now,
by saying you're unlucky, right? That means that you're saying you're deserving of finishing in the top 8.
I think we deserve to finish in the 8. From where we were 6. Come on, Rocco. From where we were 6-7 weeks ago, mate.
You lost 6 out of your last 7. How can you be deserving?
No, we're unlucky. We're unlucky to get there because we should have won.
How were you unlucky? You weren't good enough, Mark. You were not good enough.
Yeah, by a game.
I think what Mark is trying to say. I think what Mark is trying to say is that right now, Carlton's playing finals football, and what Mark is trying to say is that you guys playing the way you guys played against the KILDA, it shows that you're actually not really considered to be a contender for finals football. But
all right,
hang on. Because
you make a statement, and I'm going to clear it up.
I'm going to finish my statement, Mark. Hang on, I'm going to finish my statement.
In the middle of your statement, if you make a wrong thing, I'm going to fix it up.
But I haven't finished. I haven't finished my statement. I haven't finished my statement, right? So based on your performance on that one game is what Marco is saying, right? So put aside every other win that you've had. He's saying that right now you're not looking like a team that is deserving to be into finals football, is what he's saying. And now, is that right, Mark? So I can get that understanding? Yeah.
Yeah, because what you're doing, you're relying on another team to lose. If you had one, say if you bet St Kilda, right, Rocco? If you had beat St Kilda, right, and you made the finals, right?
Stop. Wait, stop. Stop, because I know what you're going to say, and it's fucking bullshit. You know why? Because you just said we relied on another team to make the finals, right?
Correct. Without winning. Wait a
second, Mark, shut up. You're an idiot sometimes, right? You say that, right? But didn't Fremantle rely on Carlton losing?
That's right.
Okay, what I'm trying to say
isn't it the same dumb argument? What a dumb argument.
Look, all you Carlton viewers out there,
Shut up, Mark. I'm not going to let you go. I'm going to take you off in a sec. I'm not going to let you go with your dumb argument, right? Because if you're saying that we relied on Fremantle to lose, Fremantle also relied on us to lose. So why are they more deserved? What do you mean no? What do you mean no? If we had won,
how confident is two clubs to lose to make the final? What I'm trying to say, Rocco, is very simple, right?
Same with everyone. If Collingwood would have made it, they are relying on other teams to lose.
Because they would have won, Collingwood.
But they are still relying on other teams to lose.
Doesn't matter. At the end of the day, they still won. So if Carlton won and Fremantle had won, then I would say, all right, it is what it is. Yeah. At least we won.
No, that makes sense, Mark. What you're saying makes sense, Mark.
It does, right. Man. You guys have lost and then relied on another team to lose to make the finals. That's what I'm trying to say, Rocco.
But so did Fremantle.
But they don't know about Fremantle.
But you are, because that's the team you're choosing. You said that Fremantle relied on us, but we relied on Fremantle. But Fremantle also relied on us, Mark.
Yeah.
You lost.
Think about it.
You lost.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Think about it. You're not
to go into the finals, mate. You don't want to go into the finals losing to get into the finals. Put it that way. You don't want to go into the finals losing the last home and away games going into the finals.
Why?
It's not a good sign. It's just well, to me, it's not a good sign. I wouldn't feel comfortable.
You because you've come up with dumb statements, but tell me something, right? No, tell me something. Tell me something. Bullshit. What a load of bullshit. Did you take consideration that we had 9 of our fucking senior players out?
That's right.
Okay.
Did you?
That's right.
Did you, Mark?
Right. Yeah. No, I didn't realise. Oh, maybe if you had those, you would have won.
Well, if we take out your top 9 players, how many games do you reckon you would have won?
Look, Rock, we can't keep on going into injuries.
Listen to me. No, again, you're doing this. No, against you, avoiding it. If I'm taking out 9 of your top players, I'm talking your 2 main forwards, right? We're going to take out. We're going to take out your ruckman, right? We're going to take out your backman. We're going to take out your small forward, right? If we just take out those 5, right? And also another forward, right? How many games do you reckon Essendon would have won? You couldn't win enough games with a full deck.
You can't judge that, Rocco, because 2 weeks ago you went to West Coast and you had no players and you won. So don't go using that as an excuse all the time, because you went out to West Coast and I thought that West Coast would have beaten you boys, but West Coast come out, played shit, and you boys had no players. So every week's different. What I'm trying to say is,
all I'm saying is, if we take out your going into the players, what's that?
What I'm trying to say, Rock, is just like going into the finals. I felt that Carlton should have beaten St Kilda going into that momentum.
Why?
Because it's. I mean, come on, mate. Why? Why is a crooked letter,
like you? It's people like you, right? That your team has been an absolute disgrace for 20 years. And the
Don't talk
only
about my
way,
team, mate. Talk about my
the
team.
only way that you can get any sort of solid out of this, right, is to put other teams down, because you can't do it personally. So by you not making the finals, by you only finishing on 46 points, by you only winning one game in your last 2 months, by you only having 93%, right? By you having all that, right? Your way of making yourself feel better is try to put down a team that's earned their right in the finals. Please, Mark, you are not only a shit fucking
no one expected less than we're finishing eight. No one expected less than we're finishing eight. But I can guarantee you, they expected Carlton finishing top two.
You are also, not only are you got to follow absolute disgraceful drug addict shit side, you are also unintelligent and not understanding of anything of football. And I thought when I got you onto this show, you would actually have some sort of idea what you're talking about.
I know what I'm talking about. Manny knows what I'm talking about. But you just don't give him
by saying that your shit side on 46 points was a deserved final side.
It's only 4 points behind you boys, mate.
No, it's actually 6 again, right?
Oh, sorry,
but they should have beaten Collingwood.
17 percentage points.
Because of Curnow and Mackay. Forgot.
It doesn't matter. What do you mean?
Let's stop the bantering. Let's stop the bantering. And let's Manny, you had a point there. You had a really good point there before Rocco interrupted me again.
I'll interrupt you, Mark. You know what I'll do? I'll interrupt you as much as I like, right? And I'll do whatever the fuck I like on this thing, right? And you don't tell me when I interrupt and not. How's that sound? Because you know why? Because we're 8th and you're fucking 11th for the 20th fucking season in the row. How do you like that for fucking bananas?
I'm happy to put up with that right now. I can deal with that, mate. I don't think you boys. I don't think you.
My God, I wouldn't even follow your side if it was the only side in Australia. You're a bunch of spuds. Bring out your potatoes, you spuds.
Hey, I've got a special guest. Hey, I've got a special guest. Go on.
Bring out the wooden spoon. I'd rather finish.
Hey, what's going on here?
I'm telling you.
I'm leaving now. That's it. Now, this show's becoming the blue show now all of a sudden.
Well, 15 minutes.
Well, we are the only ones who are in the finals there, mate.
You know what?
Tell us what you think, Manny.
Well, look, I think to be fair, and correct me if I'm wrong, Quinn, if Carlton did miss out of playing finals football,
we weren't good enough.
I would have said, hey, they weren't good enough. But then it'd be fair to say, you know what? They're also unlucky because when you've got a team that's dominating the season and looking, all the goods, and then all of a sudden that deterioration, because injuries can totally kill a team, yeah? And that's proven.
Anyone that says, like, I hate that argument. Anyone, and I had this the same last night, anyone that says that 19 injuries on your list does not affect the side, right? I'm telling you, you're fucking delusional. And you know that, Quinny, because it happened to you. Now, I'm not making excuses, because when you get injuries and soft tissues, it's more than just a player. It could be the organization. I do understand that. And it's a whole organization that wins a flag. I understand that. But if you're saying that it doesn't make a difference, I can't conversate with you. I cannot conversate with you. In any industry, if you take out 40% of your best employees, what do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, that's right.
So I've got I got a question as well that's been posed to me through via the text message here. I've got them coming in. I feel like SEN right now. I've got the text messages coming through. Wanted to pose a question to the chat. It's a little not the same with Mark not here, but I want to ask the chat, who's the one team this season that Gold Coast was able to beat away from home?
Well, Essendon.
Now, if you're telling me that side deserved to play finals, then...
Seriously, I know. Look, I understand, man. This is forever rivals, and you got to defend your team. I do realize that, but there's a point where you defend it where you start looking stupid, right? You cannot be saying that Essendon deserved anything but where they finished this year, right?
No, and they were spoon-fed for most of the year. I mean, we've been showing, small clips throughout every week about where the teams that Essendon has beaten. And every time they've won a game with a team that's been outside of the 8. Now, it was this year, I reckon it was purposely made for Essendon not to fail. But you know what, though? The Dopies failed. And they failed miserably.
I'm telling you, they are almost irrelevant, Essendon, at this moment. Yeah. No one wants to go there. They're irrelevant. They can't win, right? They can't get it right on and off the thing. Wait, before you go on, I'll let you go, Quinn, but we have got the winner of the 2024 winner of the Scoop medal is Tom Green with 31 votes. Congratulations, Scotty Tompkins, for bringing that update with us.
Wow.
There you go. He's done a good job.
Hey, Quinny.
I was going to say, obviously I'm trying to put the past behind me, but everyone in the chat has been pretty quick to correct me there. And Richmond also did it. So Richmond was also a part of the answer to my question just before. But Richmond's a different kettle of fish. So I'm going to ignore the fact that happened.
It's just like, you know why I get so revved up? You know why? Because people been doing it all week, right? And it fucking ODs me, right? Because we make finals, right? And I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks, right? We deserve our spot. And I don't need losers trying to rain on my parade to make themselves feel better. And that's all yous are, right? That's all yous are. To say that you would love to be in our position, Mark, no matter how you got there. Fucking Manny, you would have loved Carlton to lose by 155 points and make those finals by percentage, right? The Doggies did it in 2022 when they made it by 0.1%. Like, how dare you come along and try to rain on my parade with your dumb arguments?
I'm not raining on your parade, mate.
How sad that instead of looking within your own club, you try to put down other clubs who are more successful than you.
But still, Rocco, you still haven't answered Marco's question.
What was it?
And Mark, again, as the question is, do you feel that right now you are a team that's in the 8 that is really ready to play finals football after the defeat from the Essendon Football Club, from the St Kilda Football Club? That's Mark's question.
Yeah, because we're getting something like 7 players back. We go back to Brisbane. We beat them there once before. We earned our right. I can't see why I wouldn't be confident of going over there.
There you go, Mark.
I believe I've seen my team play well this year. Yeah, we have stumbling box duty. So did every other side. Port Adelaide, they were going to sack the coach earlier on in the year. Sydney lost 5 out of their 6 and lost the game by 124 points, right? Fucking GWS, they were ready to put him in the scrap. They were ready to sack the Doggies coach. You know that, Quinn, halfway through the year, right? Hawthorn started 5-0. We've just had our spell of bad performances, and you can say whatever you want about our side, but those injuries affected our performance. We just happened to have a bad performance near the end of the year. Does that mean we can't? What happens if we beat Brisbane? Then what? Then what's all the talk about? Like
Hang
you're
on,
trying to say that
Hang on.
us making the final now, we don't deserve it. You're
Hang on.
trying to tell our players we didn't deserve it.
You
I
agree
wanna
with that,
see
Mark?
I want to see you go up to Patrick Cripps and tell him that he doesn't deserve to play in finals. You would not have the
I'm not
fucking
saying,
balls.
I'm not saying that Carlton don't deserve to be in the finals.
Yes, you
I didn't
did.
say that.
Yes, you did. Yes,
No,
you
I
did.
didn't, mate.
Yes, you
I
did.
did not say that, Rocco.
100% you
Right?
said it.
What I'm trying to
100%
say is
you
that
said it.
you've made the 8 by losing against
We may
a team.
know because now again you're putting your spin on it. You're putting your
It's
spin
not
on
my
it.
spin, Rocco. It's realistic, mate.
No, it's not. You know what's realistic? Realistic is only how you view it. That's the only thing that's real in life. It's what your perspective is. You want to put the perspective
Rocco,
that we made
you're
it.
always going to
Listen,
defend your
you
club,
want to
mate.
put the
You're always
perspective that we made it. Listen, you want to put the perspective that we made it by losing the last game, when the actual perspective is we made it because we were on 100. We won 13 games and we had 110%. That's why we made it. I'm not going to let you try to put a fucking shit spin on it. Do you understand me?
Spin, mate.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
You're going to protect your club, and I understand that. But what I'm trying to say is that
there's a fact.
you are, mate. Because
13 games. 13 games.
But Rocco, but you also, and I agree with what Mark was saying, that at the end of the day, you can't really put it down to injuries. You'll say 19 injuries, but at the end of the day, you've got to still get a team out on the field. Is that fair to say, Mark?
Yeah.
Well, look, I mean, what we're going to get, we're going to say the same excuse again next year. Is Collingwood going to make the same excuses? Is Sydney going to make these
injuries? With those 19 injuries, right? We still made the 8.
Thank you very much. There you go, Mark. So it goes to show you that at the end of the day, for me, and this is why I threw that question, right? Because what it's proven is that regardless of whether they lost against St Kilda by that last kick in the last second, they went to the West Coast Eagles, and they had players that played their first game. I think they had about 5 first gamers.
No, I don't think it was 5. No, let's fix it. It wasn't 5. There was a couple of first gamers, and there was a couple of like 2 or 3 gamers.
Okay.
But
all right,
before you go on, this is exactly the point here, right, Mark? Carlton was already in the 8 last week. We were in the 8 last week.
Yep.
So how were we lucky if we were already there?
So was Collingwood and Essendon. Collingwood and Essendon were in the top 4.
Not in round 23.
No.
Okay, the round 15.
In round 23, we were in 8th spot, right? We were already claimed 8th spot. So how are we unlucky? Or how was Fremantle unlucky?
Yeah.
Okay.
If we were already there, how were we the ones that were lucky?
Yeah.
Because
Fremantle have to fucking win. You don't have to win. We were in 8th, mate. GWS.
Fremantle didn't win.
Wait a second. Well, then what about GWS? Are they lucky to fucking be in 4th spot?
Well, that's you're going 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th now. We're talking about getting in the 8th. So what if Fremantle? What if Fremantle would have won? What if Fremantle won?
You know, 4th to 5th is a home final and double chance. You do realise that. So did they deserve to be in 4th because they lost their last game?
Yeah, they deserve to be 4th. GWS, yeah.
But they lost their last game. They lost their last game, but.
Yeah, but you know, that's 4th in the position.
You sound like a fucking
Brisbane should have been 2nd on the ladder. But you know, they're still kind of in the top 8, like reasonably, you know, up there. You're talking about
What
the
is-
last position.
what
You're
is it
talking about
got
the
to do?
last
You're
8th position on the ladder.
You're just picking and choosing where you want the positions that are most important.
Those teams belong in the top 8. Regardless if they finish 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 7th, or 6th. Those teams
Why?
deserve to be in the 8.
There's
Carlton-
top four to the second 4 is a big difference. Finishing 4th and
the comp's
finishing
pretty close.
5th and finishing fucking 6th is huge difference, and it's only
Well,
like a game of difference.
Correct. The comp's been pretty close all year. So
So did
like I
question
say,
is, did GWS deserve it? Did they deserve 4th? They lost their last game.
I think they deserve 4th. Yeah.
Why? They're the same position as Carlton.
Well, they lost against a good team in the Bulldogs, didn't they? Or
So what? And we lost against a team, St Kilda, who won 5 out of their last 6 and smashed you guys.
yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, back to Essendon again. Back to Essendon.
Well, they did, didn't they?
I'm talking about Essendon. So the thing, you go back to Essendon again.
They did, didn't they?
Well, they did. Yeah, they beat Essendon. Yeah.
So they won either 4. I'm not sure. They won either 4 or 5 out of their last fucking 5. So they're in good nick. They had no injuries. They had no one out. I think they had 1 player out. So it's not like you're playing a shit side. They're in good form. Teams do during the year, they are in good form. Even Essendon at one stage were in good form.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's why we're unlucky. That's why we're
How
unlucky.
could you be unlucky? You weren't good enough because everyone has those ups and downs. So you're not unlucky. You were just not good enough.
Yeah, and you know what, and just to so just we get a little bit of clarity here, right? You want to base things on luck. Carlton lost their last game, all right? Then Fremantle lost their last game, all right? So were they both unlucky? No. They've just both lost the games because they didn't play as well to win the games. Now, Carlton was, unlucky because they had a chance to win that game, but they lost, right? But the reality is over the season, they were stronger than Collingwood in the percentage.
Hey, the point still stands that in round 23, we were in the 8.
You were in the 8.
So why are we unlucky to remain there in round 24?
Well, I don't think he's saying you're unlucky. I think what Mark is saying.
Yes,
I think what Mark is.
We were lucky to make the 8 because we lost the last game.
What he's saying is you're not going into finals. I think what he's trying to say is that you're really not going into finals football, with the form that a team should have.
That's a different argument. That is a different argument. I think
that's what he's trying to say.
No, he's not. No, he's not. He actually said, right? He actually said, I wouldn't want to go into finals with that. You don't make finals, Mark. How can you even say that you don't want to do it? I guarantee if I asked your whole organization, right? Would you have liked to scrape in the 8? What do you reckon they would have said?
Not in that form.
You reckon your team would have said that?
Oh, I wouldn't have been happy to go into the finals in that form.
You're an idiot, man.
I wouldn't look at it. We're just making up the numbers. We're just making up the numbers.
Such a salty, sour fucking puss, mate. Your team is shit. And now I realise why your team is shit. Because supporters like you are just salty. And all you care about is every other side. Worry about your own fucking organisation, mate. It's absolutely rubbish. Quinny, what have you got to say?
We'll be fine. We'll be fine.
I've just been in the comment section with the people because I'm a man of the people now, and I've been getting involved and chatting with everybody. I love this stuff. I love listening to you guys go at it. There's nothing, there's that mentality where instead of going at someone yourself, you let the two people rip themselves apart and then you come in for the kill at the end. Unfortunately, I don't have much to come in with at the end, but it's still good watching you two absolutely tear each other to shreds. So I love it.
Yeah.
This is true. We win the
What are
last
your
game.
thoughts, Quinn?
And
What are
the
your
point
thoughts?
is, Scotty says that we win the last game, we still finish in the same spot. We don't go any higher or anything. And the other point is, you're still basing that win and loss from one kick. I mean, that ball touches the fucking post and we win. And then what's your argument? Did we come in with a great fucking form then? It's still the same fucking game. It's one kick, right? Your arguments just don't make sense, Mark. They're just
Anyway,
dumb. They're
Can
just dumb.
can I just first and foremost say that I'm about to cut my cake with my daughter
Right,
for her
before
birthday.
you go, right?
I want to wish Carlton all the best because I hate
No.
Brisbane.
You're going to stay for another 2 minutes, right? What I want to do is, because we were going to do this later until Mark comes up with is just absolute, comes up with this.
The word of the day is pistified. When you're pissed off and mystified at their stupidity at the same time. Pistified.
So he come up with just the most ridiculous thing, man. At least fucking seriously come up with something. But what I want you to do is quickly this one here. 8-9-57 to 15-13, 103. You win your last game, just not enough. You needed to win by about another 100 points to give yourself a chance. And would you have been happy if you won by 150 points and scraped into the 8?
Yes.
You know what, Rocco? I think Collingwood this year had a.
Would you have been happy, Manny, to be playing in the first final?
For sure, of course.
It's simple, man. And anyone that says they're not is just being delusional. But quickly, I know you got to go to cut the cake. Just quickly on your game, and then you can fuck off.
I think. Well, thank you. I mean, fuck off. That's a compliment where I come from because there's nothing more satisfying in this world. But look, Collingwood. The last couple of last 4 or 5 weeks have really starting to show some form. I think there's been the fact that we've had some players that have come back. Great game by Cameron. Cox. He's really stepped up over the last couple of weeks. I know that he's an overrated player, but Nick Dacos and his brother Josh, 80 touches between those two. Absolutely amazing. You think they were playing just against each other? Here, handball it to me. I'll handball it to you. Handball it to me. Handball it to you. But you know what? I think full credit to the Pies. We finished off the year quite well. Yeah. The question to your answer, Rocco, is we would have loved to have played finals football. Unfortunately, we weren't good enough. It's now we got to go back to the drawing board. We've got to look at where we went wrong because we made some mistakes during that year. We gave up. I mean that game against Fremantle. I mean we gave that up. I mean that was in the bag, and to give that up, it's. That's disappointment. And to be in the last quarter winning by, margins like we were against Carlton, and we almost lost that game against Carlton. And then, of course, we did that against Sydney Swans, and we lost. And then we were trying to point out on the umpiring and, the bad decisions. But full credit to the boys. They finished off the year quite well. If I'm a Collingwood supporter, I'm sad I missed out on football, finals football, but I'm actually satisfied the way the team has finished. If I was a Bomber supporter, I'd be devastated because no finals and we're absolutely shit at the moment. We don't know whether we're Arthur or whether we're Martha. It's just all over the place. And even if you ask the coach, he's got no idea. But, as we said, Richmond back to the drawing board. Good luck to the Blues against Brisbane, but we'll talk more about that next week. And don't forget to all our viewers out there that you've got the TJP State Show number 2. I've got to go. I would have loved to stay a little bit longer, guys, but I've got family waiting for me to cut my daughter's cake. Thank you to all. I love yous all. And hot pies.
See ya. Fuck off.
Yeah,
Ciao.
fuck off.
Thanks, Manny. Back the crap, man. Back the crap.
All right, let's go. We'll go into the other games which are irrelevant at the moment, but we'll go into them. Here we go. We're going to give Quinny his turn here. 10-6-66. Apparently that, and they lost to Gold Coast 14-10-44. Apparently Gold Coast were they were like deserving of making the 8, even though they only finished on 44 points. So,
But they did win the last game of the year, so they should have been there.
Yeah,
They should have been there.
It's all about, you know what they should do, Quinny? I reckon they should just make a 1-round season, right? And whoever wins that one there, then that determines finals. I reckon it should be like that, because apparently by some numb knuckle bloody Essence supporters, they reckon that 23 seasons of the year don't count anymore. But anyway, let's talk about Richmond.
Yeah, all right. I'll pretty much say what I say most weeks on this show about Richmond. It was a pretty grim viewing. It started off not too bad, some good passages of play, looked all right, and then faded away late, as we've tend to do. I was a little bit upset that they started Marlon Pickett as the sub. I thought there's really nothing to play for there. No, there's actually nothing at all to play for. I think, like Scotty Tompkins has said there, minus the burglaries that he's brought up in the jail sentence. Again, like you're farewelling a two-time premiership player that did have one of the best stories you've ever heard in football in terms of debuting on grand final day, and very nearly won best on ground. And then you celebrate him by starting him as the sub. I thought that was a bit weird, but then he came on and he was actually one of the best players on the ground. So it was a little bit sad seeing these guys, Dusty obviously walking down the race, bawling his eyes out. It was things like that made it sad. And you knew that the era was over, but that just sort of was the nail in the coffin type thing, seeing those guys leave. So emotional game. But again, I didn't really take too much notice of the performance because it really meant nothing. It was more just sort of saying goodbye and seeing these guys play their last games. We all knew Bolton, Baker, Rioli. That was all their last game in the yellow and black as well. So I was sort of just appreciating them while we still had them. So, yeah, a bit of a tough one, but, bigger and better things next year.
Well, while you're there, we might as well, because we went on about some other stuff. So this kind of news was coming out now. Then Rioli asked for a trade to Gold Coast. I don't know if that's true, but it could be true. He's going back to Hardwick. And then, you've also got Tom Lynch, who could be, there's a couple of teams that will probably benefit from him, and that's someone like a Collingwood or a Melbourne who are looking for a forward if they can get a trade. And like it says here, I don't think they would get much for him. It'll be more about the salary, just the salary, and just getting rid of some of your salary cap there. Yeah.
Yeah. So Rioli requested a trade. Shea Bolton's now officially requested one. Liam Baker today officially requested one. And apparently Jack Graham is looking at a 4-year deal from West Coast as well. So we're clearing house. If I'm being honest, I don't think we let Lynch go. I think we've lost Dusty's salary. Other than Lynch, no one else is really on any decent sort of money there. I mean, Shea Bolton's about to leave as well. So I think you need to have some experience around, especially our forward line that's got absolutely nothing at the moment. I think you may as well just hold on to him because, like you said, we're not getting anything. So you may as well keep him. I think just, use these picks. We've got a good hand in the draft already. If we can get pick 6 for Rioli and, some good top first-round picks for Bolton as well, then we're coming into this draft with potentially, 5 or 6 first-rounders, which is unreal. So I'm loving it. I don't think Bolter I've heard nothing about. I heard those rumors about him going to Carlton, but Bolter just re-signed, I think, very recently. So I don't think Bolter's going anywhere. And no, I don't think Richmond's any chance at getting Christian Petrarca, no matter who we give up. So Melbourne would be silly. Petrarca would be silly to come to Richmond. I mean, Hopper and Toronto made that mistake. I don't think Petrarca's going to make the same.
Yeah. No, listen, you are... it's gone from worse to worse. I mean, losing those players leaving, I don't know. It says a lot. It says a lot that they're leaving. Like it's not good that they're leaving, and it's really going to put you back Well, apparently to Mark, it doesn't matter what players you got in and out, even if they're good players. But to lose those sort of players is definitely going to set you back even further because, man, if you're going to be playing now far out, like 10 or 15 kids, they're just going to get punished for the next year or so, you know what I mean? Because they're just not AFL ready, mate, you know? So what's going to happen is that you're going to try to trade in some like, you know, here, there kind of players from other clubs just so you can raise it, but you can't have you got to have some experience in there, or else, mate, the kids they'll just get thumped, mate.
Yeah, they're going to get beaten up a fair bit, but I'll look at it like this: you look at who's in the side and who's actually staying with the club, right? So you still got guys like Nane Curvis, Noah Bolter, Nathan Broad's not going anywhere, Nick Vlostone's not going anywhere. I don't know if I presume Camden McIntosh is going to stay as well. So you get some blokes like this. They're just 5 off the top of my head that have been around. Taranto and Hopper, obviously, Dion Prestia. So you've still got a bit of experience, which is good. And again, we're not competing, right? So we don't need to worry about having 17 blokes with experience and a few young kids. We want young guys to blood through. I actually think we've got a decent enough foundation of senior guys where we can bring these young kids in now. We're still going to get punished, right? Like, I'm not trying to say that it'll be a cruisy run. We're still going to get punished for at least the next 12 months at the minimum. But it's going to be really good to let these guys have a game and see where they're at. And the thing as well is, because of all the injuries, a lot of these kids have been playing already. So they've already got 15 games under the belt that they wouldn't have had this season if it wasn't for the injuries. So you can look at the season as negatively as you like, but you can also twist it and turn it into a positive in the sense that we've got kids getting games. We're now going to get a lot of draft picks that we otherwise wouldn't have had, and before Tassie are in the competition. So we're getting a step ahead of the game. And it's just a new era now. So you can start again completely from scratch. We're losing the CEO, Neil Baum's out the door. We lost the president earlier in the season. Obviously the coach, like it's completely new side. So it's upsetting, but it's exciting.
You've got the new CEO too, Shane Dunn.
Yeah. So Shane Dunn, I think that was yesterday that got announced. So again, it's just a completely new era. And, I was watching videos this morning of that famous interview Brendan Gale did when he came in sort of 09, 010 around that. And he came in and he made that bold statement where he's like, by 2020, I want 3 flags, 100,000 members, this, that. And everyone laughed at him and called him an idiot. And then sure enough, by the conclusion of the 2020 season, we had 100,000 members. We had 3 premierships. So I'm not saying that's going to happen in the next 10 years, but it's exciting in the sense that you don't know what could happen. And as much as you want to be successful every year, it's also exciting to sort of watch the rebuild happen, because there's going to be kids you're watching now playing their first, second, third games that in 10 years' time, we could be saying, they're the next Trent Cotchins, or they're the next Dylan Grimes coming through. So I'm trying to put a positive spin on it. Otherwise, I'll go crazy. And that's my positive spin.
That's all you can do. But that's all you can do. Once you look back at the season, right, and it's done, it's done, You just got to look at what was positive, what kids have improved, what you got to look forward to, and then you got the draft. And the draft is a big thing for you guys now, man. Like, you got number 1. Now you're going to get some early draft picks for those other players. So like you said, you could be probably picking up 3 or 4 in the top 20, right? And then all of a sudden you make a rebuild, and in 4 or 5 years' time, you're right back up there. I mean, again, Carlton picked up those 5 players, the big names in 2015, and now they're the core of our side. And that's what I think you'll be looking at now.
Yeah. I guess Quinn, the positive, mate. The last 6 years, you guys have won, 3 finals, mate. That's the most important thing out of all of this. But you've also won the wooden spoon this year.
We're 3-1 at the moment, so we're going to see if we can keep it that way.
Richmond Football Club. I'm not going to say too much about the players and Rioli. I don't think you won't get pick 6 or something for Rioli. I don't think you'll get that, but you're going to be missing a few big name players there, mate. Rioli and Baker and Bolton and Lynch possibly. Martin's gone. we can keep going for a few other players there. I think you boys are going to struggle for the next 5 or 6 years, to be honest. And you need to get, like I said a couple of weeks ago, those draft picks now before Tassie gets into the into the competition. So,
Yeah.
kudos to Richmond, but at the end of the day, fantastic. I love it. You got to
you're
give it
spot
to
on.
them.
No, you do. You got to give it to us because we're shit and it's no better opportunity, mate. Kick us while we're down. You have to. But I will say as well, with the Rioli thing, the beautiful thing about Rioli and Bolton wanting to leave, as much as I want them to stay, they're both contracted. So if someone wants them, as you guys did with Ben Mackay, they're going to have to pay overs to get these guys. So they might not want to give up pick 6, but he's contracted for 3 or 4 more years, Rioli. If you want him, pay up, mate, or we don't let him go. So I reckon we'll get more for him than what he's probably worth.
Yeah,
no, you will, and they have to pay overs to get him if they want him, So we'll take
Rioli at Essendon, mate. We'll take him at Essendon, that's for sure.
He wouldn't come to Essendon.
Well, we'll take him at Essendon.
I think his dad played for Essendon.
So now you're you're retaliating against me again. I'm talking to Quinn, but now you got to. He won't go to Essendon. Well, he's like a Carlton.
I guarantee it. I'll put my money now. He would not request to go to Essendon.
Okay.
Guaranteed. So while we're talking about finishing the season on a high, 11-21. They pretty much won by points. They should have won by 180 points there. 11-21, 87 to 10-7, 67. Talk about a dismal finish to the year. 6 out of your last 7.
Yeah, it was actually 7 out of the last 9. But anyway, remember that show called that was a season. Remember the show called That Was a Season That Was? Remember that, Ruck? Yeah. I'm not quite sure, Quinn.
Yes.
Well, that was a season that was for the Essendon Football Club, mate. It's all over. Obviously, the only positive note towards it was, we fought it out towards the end in the last quarter. We were down by about 40 points. Lucky Brisbane didn't kick more goals than what we expected. But, we went down fighting. Disappointed that we were unlucky to make the finals this year. But we fought it towards the end, and we didn't get the points. But another positive note, Zach Merritt, Jai Caldwell, Sam Durham, Nick Martin, consistent all year round. Proud of those boys. We just needed the other guys to try and support these young fellas. So disappointing that the rest of the players didn't contribute, but proud of those boys. On a consistent level, Jakey Stringer and Kyle Langford, although they are leaders of the team, didn't kick enough goals, and very important to the club this year. So disappointing in that concept, but we didn't make the finals. It is what it is. We're looking to the trade now. We've got a few bucks under our belt, and look into the draft picks as well, and maybe swing past a Rioli or a Bolton into the club. I think we need a little bit of a spark running, midfielder going through, such as those players. So it was unfortunate this year, but what can I say? Go to Mighty Bombers, and we look forward to watching the AFLW, which is on this week at Windy Hill, Essendon and Fremantle. Go to women's, because I love to watch those girls play, and they're not a bad little club as well.
You're doing pretty bad when you're looking forward to the AFLW season. Not that there's anything.
I enjoy it, mate. I take my daughter there. She loves it. She likes watching the girls playing. And, we actually, last year we weren't too bad. So something to look forward to. Something to look forward to in September.
I was going to ask this later, but is the envelope staying on next season, Mark?
Yes.
Fuck, that's a waste. Because he's really he triggered I don't think they wanted him to trigger the clause in the contract, because he triggered the clause that he can stay on.
Yeah, that's another story there, mate. But I'd like him to stay another year at least, mate. Just Just leave him there and just keep him there. And
Yes, the girls are also a team that hasn't won a final. Fucking hell, mate. I think it's
Really?
worse. I think it's fucking worse, mate.
didn't they win one last year?
Well, just quickly on the W as well, right? Because I know it's a little bit off topic, but I've just thought about it now. Obviously, being a Bulldogs employee, this is fresh in my mind, right? So they want the AFLW to be promoted, right? They want it to be taken seriously. They want to pump it up, and so they bloody should, right? We should be trying to get it to the same. That should be your goal. If you're not going to try to get it to the same as AFL, then what's the point, right? You got to aim high. That's all you got to do. Now, the Western Bulldogs and Hawthorn are playing in a final come next Friday. On the same day, they've got the Bulldogs AFLW playing for the first time at home at the new Whitten Oval redevelopment. Now, if you want anyone to rock up and watch the girls play at their home deck for the first time, redeveloped building, new ground, new grandstand, coffee, whatever, and you're going to have a men's final on the same night and think anyone's going to Whitten Oval instead of the MCG, then you're absolutely kidding yourself. Yeah. Surely something like this comes into consideration. This should have probably gone in Forever Footy earlier in the thing, right? But the AFL want AFLW to be taken seriously. Why are you clashing it with men's finals? And that's not even to be disrespectful to the W, but if you had a choice, even as a neutral fan that doesn't know anything about football, and you're choosing a men's finals game, which with the competition this season, they're going to be unreal, or an AFLW season opener or round one where the score could potentially be 12-25. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but you know which one you're choosing every day of the week. So they're just not taking themselves seriously. And I reckon they've really missed the mark on that one.
I think the Doggies were pretty upset about it. They didn't want that fixture. So for the finals, and so it's if they do want to take this women's league, and this is a problem. They say they want to take it serious, and then they do things like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And other things that they do, and they're not taking it seriously, man. If they're not taking it seriously, how are we expecting to take it seriously? Yeah. So I think Matula said
it's fantastic. I went last year to a few games, the AFLW with my daughter. At Windy Hill, and mate, the girls going hard. They're obviously not as skillful as the boys, but mate, take my hat off to them, mate. They're going hard. They crunch. It's exciting. Yeah. I love it. And towards obviously September and October, November, there's games on. It's a beautiful Saturday and Sunday afternoon. Kick back your local football down at Icon or Putton Road there and watch the girls play some football. It's fantastic. Go and support them.
I suppose because you're so used to watching unskillful sides like Essendon, that's why you go and watch the AFLW where the skills are a bit lower, only because...
I've got my favourites, mate. Bonnie Tilwood and Alcatraz. Yeah, I've got a few favourites there, mate. I don't mind them. They're good girls. Man.
When I say that, the only reason I say that, of course, they're going to be less skillful. I mean, they've only been in the competition 5 or 6 years or whatever it is, I think that the women's game in about 20 years' time, when they've had like a whole generation of training with,
girls,
better trainers, building up, the skills will definitely go up a level. I mean, at one stage when they first did the AFLW, I mean, they were pulling girls out of,
of course,
the local league and trying to fill up teams, and only now they're becoming a little, and they're not getting. Let's be serious, and they don't deserve more money because you have to generate money to be earning more money. But these girls
takes time.
They're working, and then they're going out trying to play a game of footy. So what do you expect from them, I think Matula asked, she said, I don't think Carlton has won a final either. No, I think we have, because I think we actually made a grand final and lost it. So I think the girls have won a couple of finals, Carlton, but the girls haven't been that great either for Carlton in the last few years. We lost a lot of players too. We had a big outflux. We had the one that went to Melbourne, and we had a few that left from the AFLW that were stars. All right. So we just spoke about your mediocre sides. We'll speak about a side that even though we lost, there you go, 10-8-74, 11-10-76. We're still in the finals, whatever you say. And you two would have loved to both be in my position right at this moment and give yourself a chance. Mark, you've been saying all year, you just never know. And this is the whole thing with us, mate. You just never know, mate, when you get up there. And I'm telling you now, I truly believe Brisbane will be worried. We beat them earlier on in the year, and we're getting a full list. And I think even Doherty is going to be a chance to play. And he's the spiritual leader of Carlton, man. He's going to be a huge difference to Carlton. But in saying that, the game, it was a fair game. We had a lot of players out. And again, you could say about injuries, but far out, mate. You take out Curnow, Mackay, you take out bloody Williams, and then all of a sudden, just before the game, McGovern goes out again. You know, so you can say whatever you want. That's going to hurt your side, mate. We had no TDK, man. We put even just Curnow in there, mate. We had Kemp up the forward line. The poor bloke's trying to be the number one forward. If anything, maybe he's a number 3 forward. He's not a number 1 forward, so trying to take it. Unfortunately, the point is we had our chance to kick the winning goal, and we didn't. So they went up and they scored the goal. Now, it's like a bittersweet. And this is why I get upset at you and people like you, Mark, because you're trying to rain on a parade after – I think winning 13 games and finishing in the 8th is successful. No one else deserved it. If you deserved it, you would have been there. It's simple. They're the facts of life. If you deserved it, if you were good enough, you would have been there. You're not. Either a Fremantle, if they were good enough, they would have won one of their last 4. They didn't. If Collingwood had won another game and not drawn against you guys, they would have been in there, but they weren't. So at the end of the day, we deserve our spot. But as far as the day goes for me, I've watched footy more than, I don't know, maybe, am I older than you, Mark? For sure I'm older than you. You look older than me, but I reckon I'm older than you. But I think we're about the same age. I've watched footy for 54 years, maybe not the first 5 years, but let's say 50 years I've watched footy for. And I've never experienced a day like I did on Sunday. I've never experienced that day. Going in there, playing okay, coming back, hitting the lead, and then seeing a kick pretty much with 12 seconds to go to beat us by 2 points. Devastated. Going home with my son, just devastated. Absolutely ropeable all the way home. Picking all the mistakes, coming home and watching 4 quarters of Fremantle and Port, and then seeing Port win, and then realising, and it was relief. It was relief at the end to make it, because as much as you say we don't deserve it, I think we did deserve to make the 8, 100%. With what we went through this year, and to get there, we deserve to make the 8. And we're definitely the better side out of the bottom 10 by far. But amazing day, just amazing day. I've never experienced a day of such lows and highs within 2 hours. And now that it's 4 or 5 days down the track, mate, I'm on top of the fucking world, mate. I've got 2 weeks, and you could say, oh, you didn't deserve it. Oh, yeah, I wouldn't want to make it. You tell that to the players. You tell me where you're going to, because you haven't got it, right? And you're not going to get it either this year, Quinny. But tell me where you're going to get 2 weeks of experience now leading up to finals. You know what that means to players? Tell me where you're going to get young kids to feel what it feels like to play in a final and the pressure. You don't understand this, Mark, seriously, because really, it's been a long time. But to go from VFL to AFL and then playing regular season to a finals game is a huge step up. Even if we lose this game here, that means most of our players have played in 4 finals. Before last year, they had played in none. You're trying to tell me that experience won't benefit us next year and moving forward. I said it 3 or 4 weeks ago. We were injury prone. We were struggling. And I kept saying, let's just get there. Let's just get there. Get 2 weeks off, bring back our players, and then see what happened. And we did. And in saying that, the way we just got there, mate, like you say, you're proud. I'm fucking proud of the boys, mate. Mate, we got no idea what it takes to get into a position like that. Yeah, we had a little bit of a down trot in the last. It happens. It happens. But it's about what you do next. And what we did fucking next is we made the 8th, right? We made the 8th last week, and we kept that position, right? We deserve our spot, and I look forward to 2 weeks' time. Pumped. My son's going up there. He's going on a trip with his mum. He's going to go and watch. They're going to go and watch them playing in another final. For fuck's sakes, mate. Don't people tell me and try to rain on my parade, because I'll come down on you like fucking Jesus Christ, right? Worry about your own fucking sides, right? Worry about, you should seriously clean up your own room before you try to tell other people about their houses, right? Mate, you wish you were in our position. I'm fucking proud of the boys, and I fucking can't wait for 2 weeks' time. And guess what, mate? We've got every fucking chance of winning in 2 weeks' time. Brisbane aren't going that fucking great, mate. They're not going that great. And with our 6 or 7 players, I'm telling you, you get any side and you put in Mackay, Curnow, Doherty, I don't really care, but you put McGovern, you put Williams, and you put Martin back into that side, and you tell me, and TDK, who was our biggest loss during the year, and you tell me that side there all of a sudden isn't going to challenge Brisbane, mate. You know what? I'll give you, and I'll give all the fucking Brisbane supporters a warning. I'll give you a warning. I dare you to take us lightly. I dare you to take us lightly. That's my warning to you.
Rocco, congratulations to the Carlton Football Club for making the finals, mate. That's all I can say, mate. And hopefully you boys can start moving forward in those finals campaign. But you were saying things about, you got the young players that are going to have some finals experience and so forth. Aren't those players going to be replaced by other inclusions in your team? So they probably won't experience.
There's going to be some, but I'm not even talking about those young players. I'm talking about
those players are going to get some finals experience.
Yeah,
but obviously
they're going to get another game. I'm talking about my team. I'm talking about people like Ollie Hollands, who's in his 2nd year and he's going to play in his 4th final.
Right,
I'm talking about people like Owies and Motlop, and I'm talking about people like forget about them. And there's going to be a couple of people like, I believe Cooper Lord is going to be a great player again in his 2nd game, 19 possessions and one of our best on the ground. Moya is going to be a star. I don't know if he's going to get a game, but there's going to be people like, I believe that Binns is going to keep his spot on the wing. There's another player who's going to get big experience. But even let's forget about them. I'm talking about.
I'm just referring to those players that are going to get the experience in the finals.
I'm talking about Harry, and I'm talking about Charlie, and I'm talking about Cripper, and I'm not talking about Akers, and I'm talking about Wiedering, and I'm talking about Saad. All these players here are going to get another finals experience under the belt, and all of a sudden it's fucking 4 finals, and if they win, it becomes 5 finals, mate. Before Richmond won those grand finals, right, they played in finals. Before all these teams have won grand finals, they played in finals, mate. And now we're getting there, mate. We're getting that experience. And to make this final series is a great achievement, mate. And I'm telling you, even for Voss and the coaching panel, another fucking final series.
Superhero Voss. Superhero Voss, eh?
Yeah, and that's another thing. Fucking putting players, tackling bloody people who are trying to steal cars.
Civil arrest.
Yeah, and that's right. And didn't what did Richmond? I don't think. Oh yeah, you would have lost 3 elimination finals before you won those flags, you know. And all that experience, don't tell me, didn't help when you played fucking Geelong in that first final in 2017, you know.
You know what it was? We lost the 3 finals. So we lost 13, fuck you, Rock, 14 and 15. 16, we didn't even play finals, right? And that was where we thought, oh, where the fuck are we going now? Then you get a couple of extra blokes that come in, they just polish the team off and that list nicely. You've got all that experience and it puts you in the right place. And that's kind of what ended up happening for us in 17. It all just sort of fell into place really nicely. But you're right. It was 13, 14, and 15 finals experience. And then I think 16, where we didn't make it, was just the boot up the arse that we needed to go, all right, let's actually do something with this list.
Yeah, and that's all, and that's what it's about, man. It's look, footy's like life. You just got to build year after year, day after night, and you just got to fucking grind your way through a footy season. You know, people that talk and say, "Oh, the team's shit because they lost games," and you got no fucking idea, man. Just like a game and just like a season, you get obstacles in the way. You get injuries. You get other things happening, and you might get a loss, you might get selection, and then you just gotta get through it and move on to the next one, and hopefully things turn, and then you move on. Man, just like a game. How many times are you in a game and you're getting absolutely punished, right? And then you come with a flow at the end, or you're leading, and then another team comes and fucking goes all the way, and then you win by a couple of points because you hold on. Tell me, Mark, does that mean you didn't deserve to win the game?
Well, scenarios, mate. It's all about scenarios, mate. Look, at the end of the day, 2 weeks ago, we played Gold Coast, and we got beaten, you know, after the siren, mate. And that could have made a big difference to our finals campaign.
Right.
So I know where you're coming from.
But what you're saying is like, because like Gold Coast,
you were unlucky.
No, see, this is the problem. The word unlucky ODs me. Why were you unlucky if they just played better than you? You know what unlucky is? You're running down the fucking ground, right? And a fucking bolt of lightning hits you in the head. That's unlucky. But if you're in front and then you allow a team to get on top of you and kick a goal, how are you unlucky? That's disrespectful.
You asked the question, who do you think are the unluckiest teams to not make the finals? So what do you mean by unlucky then? What are you saying? Or who deserved to make the finals?
I didn't say who was unlucky.
Well, that was the question we asked Manny and Quinn before. And then I mentioned my 3 teams.
No, I said who deserved it more than Carlton. You added
who was the unluckiest teams. Okay.
No, I never said who was unlucky. Who didn't deserve? Who
deserves to be?
You kept saying, "Oh, you didn't deserve. You were lucky." Then, if we were lucky, then who deserved? Who deserved?
Essendon.
Right, and I'm not going to go over
Fremantle and Gold Coast, I think, deserve to make it.
See, again, I'm not going to go over this again. We already said it. But at the end of the day, that's fucking bullshit. That's bullshit, because what you're doing is you're being disrespectful to every other side because you want to put a spin on your side. No, you weren't good enough, Mark. And that's the only words you can use. Move on.
I think it's not to every other side. I think it's to the sides that are very close to the points.
You weren't unlucky, nothing. You didn't win the game.
It can go each another way. Like, you know, Gold Coast.
Every other team, mate.
Every other team against Collingwood.
Every other team Every other team should have done it. We should have beat Collingwood. We should have beat Adelaide. We were in front.
That's how close the season was all year.
It's just dumb.
That's how close the season was all year. So
it's not unlucky. It's not unlucky.
So you think that Carlton deserves to be in the 8 because they're in front by 4 points?
How disrespectful are you to like a Gold Coast team, right? Who fought their fucking ass off to overrun you and win that game, right? So were you lucky to beat Fremantle? Were they unlucky?
Mate, well, we can go lucky, unlucky. There's so many other teams that we can go
No,
against.
wait a second. Because you're saying
At
that
the
you
end
were
of the day,
unlucky.
we should have beat West Coast. We should have beat.
You were
We should have beat.
unlucky against Gold Coast, right? You were unlucky against Gold Coast, you said, right? Because you're being disrespectful to another side, right? Was Fremantle unlucky to lose to you?
Yeah, they were unlucky to lose against us.
They were unlucky too. I can't live in that world, Mark. Sorry. I can't live in that world. You might live in that world. I don't live in the world of imaginary unlucky. I live in a world where the only luck you get is how hard you work. And the harder you work, the luckier you get.
And
the harder you work, the luckier you get. And then when someone actually succeeds, right, for you to turn around and tell them that they were lucky and I was unlucky because I'm a fucking bum and I'm on the street. I'm unlucky because I live on the street. You're lucky because you've been working hard and you've earned all that. That's just disrespectful. Sorry.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Well, it's just like saying Quinn with Gold Coast. The Gold Coast. Damien Hardwick is their coach now, and they went out and bet Richmond at the MCG, and the last game with Dusty and so forth. That to me is like a little bit like the same concept there, Rocco. Like, should have Richmond gone out there and be more positive and in winning that game against Gold Coast? I don't know, Quinn. Like, do you
think that a professional side like Richmond didn't go out there wanting to win that game?
It makes you wonder, doesn't it? It makes you wonder, Rocco.
ODs me how disrespectful you are of players and other sides, right?
No, I'm not disrespectful.
Yes, you are, because you just said that they should have gone out there and tried harder, or whatever you just said.
No, I think it's more about the concept of the Gold Coast rivalry with probably Richmond now with the Damien Hardwick saga leaving. I thought Richmond would have gone out there a little bit more harder and.
You don't think Richmond went in there I'll let Quinny answer this because we are.
I don't know. I just felt it was just like another game.
Like Richmond,
Gold Coast haven't been really winning at all away, so they've won another game now this year. So against Essendon, obviously, and Richmond at the MCG, which is to me really crucial for Gold Coast to beat Richmond at their home ground. So
But that's not even the point. The point is, you just said that Richmond didn't go in. They didn't. They should have gone in harder. So by you saying that, what you're actually saying is that Richmond they gave up.
I think so.
Richmond gave up.
I think so. I think so because most of their players are probably leaving, and the camaraderie of the team is just like, yeah, we're not here to win today. We're just here to. It's a dead rubber game, but I would have thought Richmond would have gone out there a bit harder and showed their supporters to beat Gold Coast at the MCG. You start questioning yourself and going, what happened there?
Well, I don't know if you can say we didn't try hard because we had players that were leaving. One of the blokes that just requested a trade was best on ground with 30 disposals and 2 goals, and Daniel Rioli. So if you say he wasn't trying and he's done that, then I don't know what trying would look like if that's not it. But I don't think that's it, Mark. If Gold Coast is just a better team than us, it's as simple as that. We're bottom of the ladder. We've got a decimated list of injuries. We haven't been playing that well all season long. It was no surprise that they flew over and beat us. And obviously they had a point to prove as well that, they can win games of football away. And it was big for Damien Hardwick coming in. You don't think he wanted to get the win coming up against his old side to prove them wrong. So, you talk about Gold Coast coming to our home ground and beating us. I think you guys finished 1 game out of the top 8 and Gold Coast beat you at your home ground. So were you not trying that night, or were they just better on the night?
No. Well, like I was saying to Rock before, that was quite unlucky that, the young fella took the big mark there at centre forward and kicked the goal after the siren. You guys didn't just lose by a goal or two. You got pretty much smashed.
Are you serious?
And that's disappointing. If I was a Richmond supporter, I would have been disappointed with that effort, Quinn. I would have been very disappointed if I was a Richmond supporter, to last game of the year with Dusty, did he play? Dustin Martin play at all? Or?
No. He just did a lap after the game. That was all. He didn't play.
I don't
You
usually
know what,
agree.
unfortunately, Dyson Heppel did play his last game and he had 34 disposals and he actually played a really good game. So it makes you wonder, why do these guys retire, or what's going on there? Like you were saying before about some of those players that played a great game on their last games.
You know what? And Rat Poison, look, trust me, man. He's not trolling. He's not trolling. Mark is absolutely dead serious when he talks, right? To say really, and this is how delusional you are about your side, right? This is how delusional you are about your side. To say,
I disregard my side. I'm confident about my side.
You would talk. No, you shouldn't be. But to say, because every time you talk about your side losing, it's unlucky, right? Whenever it's someone else, they're lucky. To say that Gold Coast and Essendon game, that bloke was lucky to take a mark. I'm telling you, man, you've lost the plot. You cannot see reality anymore. How is he unlucky? How is he lucky?
He was lucky to take the mark through our mistakes.
Why was he lucky?
It wasn't like, mate, he's done a fucking Gary Ablett. Oh, speck, he took a mark. It was,
don't
he was
have
lucky
to take a Gary Ablett. What are you talking about? Does it have to be a Gary Ablett? Are you serious?
We should have defended that mark, mate. So he was lucky to take it. He was lucky to take an uncontested mark in the four-line because of our problem.
But you didn't, Mark. You didn't.
Well, that's right. That's what I'm saying. So he was lucky to take that mark. For fuck's sake.
It wasn't because he was lucky. It was because
he was lucky to take that mark.
No, because you're a shit.
Oh, okay, we're shit then.
Well, of course you are. You couldn't defend that moment.
You're telling me about the theory of football. I'm saying that he took that mark. He was lucky to take that mark because we didn't defend well enough, and that cost us the game. When really, if we defended well enough, we would have won that game. We would have got 4 points, and maybe would have been top of Carlton. We would have been on top of Carlton by now.
If my fucking grandma had balls, should be my grandfather. If with your fucking ifs. That
so
wasn't
you guys were lucky to win some and lucky to lose some.
Absolutely the most. You are absolutely, I'm telling you, you are absolutely a disgrace the way you talk about other sides and other players. You're talking about a player who absolutely dominated that game against you. He dominated that game. And then at the end, he takes a fucking mark, a deserving mark, a quality mark in a pack. That was a quality mark, right? That wasn't a quality mark. And then he goes back after the siren and kicks it, and you're saying he was lucky.
No. He was lucky to take the mark. I didn't say he was lucky to kick the goal and win the game.
He was lucky to put himself in the right position.
Yeah.
The Gold Coast were lucky to grab the ball, right? Push it forward 2 or 3 times. Put it in the right position. He was lucky to mark it. You were unlucky because Essendon can't do nothing wrong, yet you haven't won a final in 20 years. Mate, I'm telling you, this show gets better and better, mate. It's fucking unbelievable. Let's have a look how unlucky you were. I'll do the fucking thing. Or do you want to do it, Quinny? Oh, you take over. Do the bloody ladder because I need to fucking take a breath here.
Yeah, I need to get some words in, I reckon, tonight. I'm not as good as Manny at this, but I'll give it a crack. We got the Sydney Swans, who are sitting pretty on top of the ladder. They've been there all season. Port Adelaide obviously did Carlton a massive favour over the weekend and locked in their spot in second of the ladder. You've then got Geelong and the Giants rounding out the top 4, all getting their double chance. Brisbane sitting in 5th with the home final. The Western Bulldogs, the old Scray, Hawthorn, and the Blues rounding out the top 8. Then the unlucky 9, you got Collingwood, Freo, Bombers, St Kilda, Gold Coast, Melbourne, Crows, West Coast, North, and then the unluckiest side in the competition, the Richmond Tigers.
Yeah, you should have made the 8, man, with those 8 points and 63% there.
Wow, I'll tell you, 5 ACLs is unlucky.
Well, listen, man, and you can say whatever you want, and I'm always a big believer of percentage, right? Mate, Essendon with 93, there's only 3 other sides that are lower than you, right? Is just seriously, just shows where your team's at. Just shows where your team's at, mate. It's absolutely a disgrace, man. Really a
Well, you
fucking
got Scotty Tompkins, as always, he's firing with the comments, and I don't know how he does it for as long as he does. Like you said, Rock, about 30 hours worth of viewing and commenting. I thought this was interesting, even if they had a one.
That's
Would
true.
have finished in the same spot.
If they had even if they had won, they still would have finished in the same spot.
There you go. And Peter Bluebag has just pointed out as well, Mr. Bobblehead there, Richmond had 27 players out.
Oh, great.
No, but apparently that doesn't matter, man. You can have you can actually play. You can just go out into the crowd and pick up 22 players, and apparently it shouldn't really matter. But anyway, let's see how unlucky Mark is. Again, are you unlucky here too, Mark, or what's going on here, mate?
Yeah. Flip of the coin.
That's your choice. I didn't make you do that choice. So you're unlucky in that, are you? You know, in that flip of the coin, there was a couple of times that you actually, because of the flip of the coin, you got it. Do you look at that? Yeah. Anyway, Rock on 128 and Mark on 125. Again, just can't make the fucking cut. You got Quinn on 110, follows the ladder.
Yeah. That's another wooden spooner. Quinn is
another
wooden spoon. And Manny's just made the top three.
And just missed. That's it. He just made the bloody bottom there. So, what do we got here? Yes, for everyone saying thanks. Rocco, clap of the hands, mate. Of course, man. Of course, that's what I do. Finish 134 this year. Woohoo! Yes. What's next? What do we got next? Oh, yeah. So while we're here, let's have a look. So you don't understand this, and you'd rather not make finals, but we will talk about more about the games next week. But there is these are the final Port Adelaide and well, you can read this, Quinny. You can do that. You're a better reader than me.
All righty. Well, we got week 1 of the final series. Obviously, super exciting. This the time of the year that we all want to watch the footy. We start off on the Thursday night over at Adelaide Oval. Port securing that home final against the Cats. That's going to be an absolute ripper. Port have a lot to prove this final series because they've been close for the last few years but can't seem to get it done. You go to the second elimination final. This game, I believe, was already sold out at the MCG Friday night. The Western Bulldogs taking on the rampaging Hawks, I should say, playing a bit of hawk ball at the moment. They're flying, so they got the Friday night game. Then you got the qualifying final on the Saturday afternoon, twilight football. Mark, you've said this before, and I do agree. It's primetime football, Saturday afternoon. It's old school. It reminds you of the way it used to be. So we love that. It's the Battle of the Bridge, Sydney versus the Giants. And Rock, I'll let you talk about the last game because your mob is involved, but we go Saturday night at the Gabba. Brisbane taking on the Blues.
Well, listen, I won't talk about it because we'll leave that for next week. We'll do a preview on all 4 finals next week, so we'll leave that. But yeah, pretty excited. As I said, happy to be there, happy to play. I'm fucking stoked we're playing Brisbane. I reckon we got a huge chance against Brisbane, man, and especially with our players coming back, we've got a huge chance against Brisbane. And I would not be surprised if we come back and we take those points against those dirty old Brisbane scum there. But we'll talk about that next week. We'll talk about about my final. I don't know what you're going to talk about, Mark. You could talk about how unlucky you were. You didn't make the bloody finals. What else have we got here? All right, what do we have here? All right. We're up to this stage, which was under the pump.
Under the pump it is, boys.
Let's do it.
Who wants to go first? What, Rocco?
I had one for Manny, so I've got to rethink of a new one. So give me a couple of seconds while I think of a new one.
He's having some nice pavlova pie now. Cape
All
Air,
right,
nice name.
we had there's not much to say to Quinn. I mean, it's just going to be a big pre-season for you guys. But back to you, Mark. Who has to go from your side? Who are the ones that have got to get delisted? And you got to make some hard calls. I don't want to hear shit like fucking. I'm talking. Who are the hard calls, and who do you need to improve that side? Like who would be some players?
Yeah, we've already had 3 delisted players, Hein, Wanganeen and Baldwin, which unfortunately Tex Wanganeen, father and son for Gavin Wanganeen. Those 3 players have been delisted at the moment. So the Bombers are moving quick. Look, I mean, I don't know, Rocco, mate. Look, I mean, look, I could throw players out there. Kelly turns the ball over a lot. Jai Menzies hasn't done anything all year. The Davey boys. I'm just looking more towards those second-tier players. Jaden Laverde, obviously he's had responsibility all year in having the first or second best defender. He's more of a 4th best defender. So, we're missing Ridley and Reid out the back line. So, I don't know. Probably delist or trade. I wouldn't delist. I'll probably trade Kelly, Menzies. Cox possibly. I would still keep Archie Perkins. I think he's a young player. He needs another year in the list. Ben Hobbs, hopefully he stays for another year, but he might want to be requested for a trade. I'd love him to stay for another year. Look, mate, there's so many players you probably want to, sometimes you feel like getting rid of the whole lot, mate. But probably those players at this stage, Rocco, to be either traded, wouldn't they list trade? Let's see where we go. Yeah.
Jordan Rulli, some of those players, I mean, probably won't have a lot of interest, So
no,
some
possibly
of them,
not. Yeah.
Some of them you've got to get rid of. And that's it. Yeah, no, fair enough. I mean, and to tell you the truth, man, I know you're one-eyed, but sometimes you got to look at your club and you got to really do some hard calls at the end. And there might be players where you're kind of like, there were some of your favourites and that. And I'm talking people like, to me, like Stringer would be one you really got to consider, man. Like he's just not there. But that's something. And Ben Mackay, look, at the end of the day, I think Ben
Mackay, honestly, 12 months. He's only played 12 months. And people tend to bag players, for jumping into a team. And what do you expect? Sometimes they just won't perform for the first 12 months. They might need to adjust. Like I said, the plans in the back line with Ridley and Reid, that to me was my key position in the back line was Reid at centre half back and Mackay centre half full back and Ridley intercepting. Both of those players got injured. So obviously Mackay's probably role was a bit different. And you're bagging for pressure.
Salami Boy makes a comment and makes a good point here. Injuries don't matter.
You're spot on. We probably didn't have that depth there, and we still had players in the reserves that might have stepped up. And I don't think Scott put those players in like Hayes and Baldwin and so forth. They didn't give them the opportunities to play. He kept on persisting with Kelly and Hind in one stage, and that probably didn't help us at all through getting some young players in the team and get some experience. So, mate, you can get rid of the whole team, but you got to persist. Another 12 months, and Setterfield, another one, is another player. Sardis, 40 odd possessions the last 6 or 7 weeks in the reserves. Obviously, disposal is not correct and accurate, so they haven't played him. But give him another 12 months. I'll give the Bombers another 12 months. After that, I've got no choice. That's right. I won't be spending that membership. I won't be going to the top of the range medallion membership, mate, because I'm not going to invest in anymore if they don't start winning some games and start making finals. That's for sure. That's the key, finals.
Yeah, I'm different, man. I'll keep supporting them no matter how bad they are, man. Like, I'll always be there. And just like every game, man, I stay until they walk off the ground, mate. Because if they're going to feel pain, I'm going to feel pain. Now, if one of you, like Manny was going to ask me the question, I don't know if maybe you want to substitute that, or did you have a question, Quinny, for me? He did want to ask about Petrarca one, but I don't know how if you got something else.
I did have a question for you, Rock. So I might ask my one, and Manny can go with his when he comes back next week if need be, because it would probably still be a talking issue. But I was going to ask you. You mentioned him before, and I'm a big fan of his, so I'm actually curious what your thoughts are on Doherty, Sam Doherty, right? You said he's a potential chance. ACL, obviously, beginning of the year. It's rare, but we've seen players come back this early. Who was that Collingwood player? Was it Goldsack that came back the same season? Alex Rance was just about ready to go when he did his ACL back in 2018. So it's obviously, he's fit, ready to go. He's been in full training. Would you bring him straight back in to a finals team after not playing for a whole year, coming off an ACL? I know how good Doherty is. Is he the sort of player you bring straight back in without any reserves, footy, practice matches, etc.?
I'm telling you, that's a fucking great question. That's a great question, and it's a dilemma because now the word is that he'll be ready for the first final. He's been training and he'll be ready. Do we bring it in? Lana, she says no. Look, my initial answer is no. My initial answer is no, you don't bring him in because to bring him into a final and he hasn't played for 12 months and then bring him into an elimination final, it could be dangerous. We had this thing about yesterday about your sub. You can bring him in as a sub, right? And then my argument about that is if a player's not ready to play full quarters, he shouldn't be a sub, because what happens if you need him in that first quarter? Paul says that you don't prepare for injuries, which is kind of fair enough. I understand that too. All right, back to the question. Would I bring him in? I feel they will. I feel that the way he's a spiritual leader, imagine him coming in and kicking a goal. Imagine the lift the team gets. So it could mean, and his leadership qualities in the back, far out, would be huge. So I don't know. I'm going to give you my truthful answer. I do not know what I would do. It's a fucking hard one. If he's ready to go, I believe they'll play him. Is it going to be the right thing? You won't know till after the game. If he breaks down, you're going to say it was a bad decision. If we win and he has a good game, you're going to say, yep, it was a great move. Do you put him as a sub? You know what? That could be the move. You know what I mean? Bring him in and have him in as a sub. So I don't know, man. I can't give you a straight answer on that. All right. Can I just throw it back to you?
Yeah.
What would you?
I've been humming and ahhing about it, thinking about the same question, but I think I've read one of the comments here from Gokhan here, great man of the show, and he's made a good point. He goes, he's not risking anything if he's passing all his strength markers, which apparently he is with flying colours. And that's the thing, right? Like, I've always had this thing when people talk about, do you bring a player back through the VFL, right? Like a player coming back from injury, do you bring him back through the VFL? Now, you're just as likely to do an ACL in the VFL as you are in the AFL. I don't understand the difference. If they're ready to play football, especially someone of Doc's caliber, I think that they're ready to come back into the side. So I don't know if he's passing all his strength markers with flying colours like they say he is. I think because of the spiritual leader aspect, I think you do. I just think someone like that can will a team over the line. If it's the last quarter and it's tough and he kicks a goal off half back, just imagine what that does for the group, right? I know you can't hope that those situations happen, but it's just the aura that he's got around him. I think, I think I would play him, but I also am very sentimental and love a good story. So that's probably more the reasoning behind me bringing him in rather than using my brain.
So can you imagine? Because the bloke's been through two. This is his third, I think. ACL, isn't it? Is it his third or second?
I think it's his third.
It's his
Yeah.
third, and he had 2 bouts of cancer, and the second one, like the story is that it was like stage 4, man. He was right on the brink of dying, you know. So now you bring him in. Fuck, I just can't imagine the lift that would give the group. You know what I mean? Like if this bloke takes a lucky mark, let's say he takes a lucky mark, right? Or he has a lucky kick, like you say, because apparently everything's luck. But let's say he takes a lucky mark. That wasn't a lucky kick. He knew exactly what he was doing. He takes a lucky mark and he kicks a lucky goal far out. What could that do to the side? What could that do to the side, man? So my feeling is, like you said, if he's past all his fitness, he's in. And he's not a normal player. Doc's a good player, great leader. And now with this coming back after 3 ACLs and playing in a final, it's maybe the lift we need. You know what? Now talking to you, I would bring him back if he's ready. What about you, Mark? Quickly, would you bring him back?
Oh, mate, it just all comes down to really, the managing, the doctors, the managing staff.
Right. No, we're saying if they're saying that he's past everything, he's right to go, right? He's not going to break down, right? He's right to go because he could do his ACL in round 1 again. You just don't know, you know what I mean? Yeah. We're saying that if they're saying he's ready to go. He just hasn't played for.
If you're confident with all those kind of, obviously he's coming back from an ACL. Was it an ACL he's coming back from?
Yeah, ACL.
Mate, at the end of the day, yeah, you could put him in there for the spiritual aspect of the game. But if he does it again in the first quarter, who are you going to blame then? So it's medical staff, anything like that.
Doctors. If he's ready to come in,
if they give me okay. I would play him. If they give him the okay and they're confident, I would play him. But if something goes wrong,
I don't think they would put him up if he wasn't ready. And to tell you the truth, the other question we were asked yesterday was, would Doc play if he thought he wasn't ready? I think he's the type that would say, I'm not playing if I'm not ready. He's not that type. He's a team player. He's like one of the most unselfish players, He's just a great bloke, So I think if he wasn't ready, he would know and he would say, "I'm not going to risk it."
He'd control that. He'd control that choice himself. I think so, regardless of what the medical and doctors say, which is a good thing, man. That's what you need the players to do. They need to step up and say, I'm not fit to play. I'm not playing. As opposed to taking a risk and get injured again, a shoulder or whatever the case may be, or knee or ankle, and they go back out for another bloody 6 to 8 weeks. So if he's fit and he's confident that he can sustain the pressure of finals football, I think that's most important. Finals football is completely different than home and away. Put him in. If not, put one of those young boys in, Rocco, and get them the opportunity to get some finals experience like you're saying.
Well, you talk about that as well, and we know putting his hand up if he's ready or not ready to go. You look at, and obviously using Richmond as an example, it's a good one for me. 2019, round 1, Alex Rance does his ACL. By grand final day, he was medically cleared to make a return and come back. He himself said, I don't feel right coming back into this side. Like I'm not 100. I don't feel 100%. I'm in cleared, but I don't feel it. And he made the call himself to not play. I feel like Doc would be doing exactly the same thing if he didn't feel he was up to it. He'd be the first one to put his hand up. But the other question I've got too is, if you're ticking all the boxes and you're passing all your strength markers, right, and you feel good yourself, it's all good and well to say, oh, don't risk him. But like, where do you draw the line of, oh, now he's ready? Like if he's passing the markers and in 6 weeks' time he's still passing the markers, well, what's the difference if you play him now? If you play him in 6 weeks, he could still injure himself in 6 weeks. So you may as well, I don't know. I think if he's passing and he's convincing the doctors, and the doctors are better now than they ever have been. I think there's no, as long as he feels good and the doctors feel good, I see no reason why you don't play him.
Yeah.
I agree 100%. And that's the old thing. Like, you know, when people go, oh, we'll give him another week. When you're ready, another week is going to do nothing. When you're ready to go, like you can't, like there's certain injuries that once you're ready, you can't make it worse, right? So when they're ready to go. They're ready to go. It doesn't matter you're playing VFL, AFL, you play week 1, you play week 3. When you're ready, you are ready to go. It's not about doing your hamstring again. The problem is when you're on that edge of you have a tear and then you haven't had enough time and then they play him. But when you've done the rehab and you're ready to go, mate, the bloke's ready to go. And apparently he's been knocking on Boss's door for the last 3 weeks and he's been training and now he's back and now he's doing some full contact thing. The only thing is he hasn't had 12 months of footy, but I would still rate that if Doherty's ready, I don't care he hasn't had 12 months of footy. Doherty will come in running. And I reckon in actual fact, his first game would be a ripper. It's always a second game you probably let yourself down a bit. But I reckon he'd be so full of adrenaline. You know what? I'm playing him. If he's ready, you're fucking putting him straight in the back. And that cunt's going. I'm telling you, and it's exactly what we need, man. It's exactly what we need.
Life's all about risks, aren't they, Rocco? Life is all about risks, mate. Get him to play. If he does it, he does it. If not, well, then be on, move on. We continue.
Think about this. Can you think about this, man? Like if I was the coach, right, and he's ready to play, man, my simple words will be this, mate. This opportunity never comes again, mate. This opportunity never comes again. Can you imagine winning a grand final from where you are and a bloke coming back from 3 ACLs and 2 cancer bouts?
I think he get a little bit carried away there, Rocco. I think he get a little bit carried away with winning the grand final. But anyway.
What are you talking about? This is what pisses me off, man. I'm fucking having a serious conversation about what a coach would say to Doherty, who just.
But you're not playing in the grand final, mate. You're just playing it in the final, mate. Just.
Yeah, I know. But I'm saying.
It was a grand final. Then you say,
shut the fuck up, Mark. I'm trying to fucking have a serious conversation, mate. I would say to them, right?
Yeah.
Can you imagine getting all the way with this sort of fucking player coming up, mate? That's the motivation you need. You might not look ahead. Don't get me started again, Mark. Right? Every time I try to do something, you try to be fucking funny, man. Don't do it.
I'm not being funny, mate. You're saying that if it was the grand final.
What do you think finals is about?
I've got an under the pump question for you, okay? I've got an under the pump question for you.
I'm sure it's going to be some fucking
seriously.
I'm sure it's going to be some fucking dumb question about, oh, we're lucky, we're unlucky. Go, Spud.
Do you want me to give you the under the pump question or not, Rocco?
If you want.
All right. So obviously, you know, making finals, Carlton are obviously in there. So you're contenders, yeah? You're contenders. Are you contenders to win the flag this year?
Yes.
If not, sorry, well, you're saying yes. So you're contenders to win the grand. You think that you're going to win the premiership this year? But if not, how far do you think your boys will go?
Your question was, don't keep. You would be a fucking shit lawyer. Your question was, are you contenders to win the grand final? My answer is yes.
Okay, but if not. Oh, well, you just answered the question straight away. You didn't let me finish the question.
I don't have to let you finish because the answer is yes.
So you guys are contenders to win the grand final this year?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I'll just sign it off there. That my management just make them aware that they are going to win the grand final in 2024.
No, again, you're trying to put words into my mouth. Quinny. Can you help me?
I said, you guys made the finals. You made the finals.
Shut up. I'm talking to Quinn now. Quinny, did I say we were going to win the grand final? Because I need some fucking words of fucking like wisdom. Did I say that?
No, you didn't say you were going to win the grand final. You didn't
What
say
was
you were
the
going to win.
question, Quinny? What was the question that was asked to me?
Are you contenders?
And so is that saying we are going to win the grand final?
Well, it's a fair question, mate. I didn't say you're going to win the grand. You just made the 8. I'm saying you guys have just made the finals.
Yeah.
Are you guys going to contend for the Premiership Cup?
Yeah. And I
Okay.
said, no, you didn't say that. You're changing it again, mate.
I did say that. I said you guys have just made the.
No, you didn't. You said, are you contenders to win the Premiership? You didn't say that. You said, are you? And at this moment, right now, we are contenders.
Rocco, you've got to be realistic and say, you might say, Mark, you know what? No, not this year because we just made the 8.
Why? Who thinks like
because
that?
You're confident that Carlton's going to make the grand final, and that's
There
fine.
Are 8 contenders. There are 8 contenders in the fucking final.
If you don't win the grand final, whereabouts will you finish? Maybe prelim or get knocked out? I don't know.
I don't know.
So you're adamant that you'll win the flag this year.
What was that?
You're adamant that you're going to win the flag this year.
No, I never said that.
Well, you contend to the grand final. You're said,
are you contenders for the grand final? And yes, we are contenders.
We're all contenders, mate. We're top 8.
No, you're not. You're not contenders. You're not a contender.
Oh, so you're confident that you'll make. Do you want me to rephrase that? Seeing that you guys have made the 8,
you've had a fucking.
You guys are going to win the flag. Do you want?
Shut up! You've had a week. You've had a week to come up with this question. You've had a fucking week.
Do you guys think that you're going to win the flag?
Dumbest explanation I've ever heard.
You're going to say yes. You're going to say yes again. So I'm asking, do you guys think that you're going to win the flag? You're going to say yes.
No, I didn't say that. I'm not even going to answer that
question.
You say you're going to win the flag. What I'm saying is we are a contender at this moment. Are we going to win the flag? I don't even know if I'm going to be alive tomorrow, Mark. But it's a dumb question. Hey?
Well, you're going to contend to win the flag. You're going to say yes, of course.
There are 8 contenders. Do you know the word contender? You know what a contender is?
Yeah. So realistically, like, you would say maybe possibly, you know what, Mark, maybe not win the flag, but you know what, we've made a great effort this year.
That wasn't your question.
And we might get the prelim and we can see what goes from there. But no,
it wasn't your question.
I'd support us. You're going to always say, we're contenders to win the flag.
Are you dumb? Are you actually dumb? Your question was that I'm not going to go and elaborate on this question. Your question was simple.
Yeah.
You trying to put words in my mouth.
Are you going to contend to win the flag? Yes.
You said, are you contenders this year to win?
You answered the question.
Yeah, we are contenders. You know what contenders are?
Yeah, you contend. But realistically,
what's real, Mark? You don't even know if you're a brain in a vat at the moment. You don't know what reality.
Well, realistically, I don't think Carlton will win the flag this year, but that's my point of view.
But what's realistic?
Maybe Quinn's got another point of view.
What's realistically?
Realistically, I don't think Carlton will win the flag.
Explain. I want you to define the word realistically.
Realistically, I don't think. I'm telling you right
now. No, define the word. Define the word. If you're going to use it.
Do you want me to get back to the encyclopedia that we had before or not, mate? We're not going to get back into that now, are we?
Realistically, like Lana Owen says, realistically, Mark is a banana.
Realistically, how does she know I'm a banana? I might be
that's the same as you. Then how do you know that we can't win the grand final?
I didn't say you can't. I just believe realistically you can't win it.
Yeah, realistically, you're a banana.
Okay. Well, that was my question. I just asked. You're saying that Carlton will contend to win the flag this year. Well, I don't believe that.
At the moment, we are contending for the grand final this year. Do you know at the start of round 1, how many contenders are there for the grand final? How many?
Okay. We can start going into statistics and mathematically.
At
From
round 1, it's a simple question.
You tell me from eighth position, who's won the flag?
And who won it when the doggies won it from 7th?
Oh fuck, mate! You're talking about fucking now the last 100 years of football. Where are we coming from here, mate?
It was 2006. It was 2016. They won it from 7th.
Yeah,
and
before
they had
that,
to win the state finals. Before that, yeah.
Come
so
on.
what?
Get off the Carlton bandwagon. What I'm trying to say is that from my
your
position,
argument is because it never happened, it will never happen. Is that your argument,
mate? So that's going to be a very high volume of a team coming from the 8th to win the grand final, mate. That'd be like a world record, right?
So what?
That was the question that I'm asking, mate. You're sitting 8th. I'm not saying that you're sitting 4th. If you were sitting 4th or 2nd, I would ask a different question. You're sitting 8th.
Yeah,
do you guys think you will contend for the grand final and win the flag?
We're contending right now. I can't get that plus more. We are contending right now.
Okay, yeah. Okay. To win, though. I know you're contending to get to the grand final, but do you guys actually believe that you'll contend to get there? You'll get to the grand final.
Seriously, can I
in the position that you're in. In the position that you're in. In the position that you're in.
Can the chat please help me out here because I've got a fucking headache, man. What the fuck is going on, mate? What the fuck is going on, mate? What the fuck?
Get the spud out. Get the spud. Where is he?
Seriously, are you a fucking troller? Are you a troller? Are you that stupid, Mark?
I'll give you an idea.
Are you contending? Are you contending? Oh, are you contending to win? No, we're contending to fucking jam fucking footies up our ass. What do you think we're doing? We're contending to fucking win the fucking grand final.
Yeah, I know
what do you think? In 2016, no one had ever won the grand final from 7th spot. Now what?
Well, maybe.
Now what?
Maybe. Yeah.
Before that, Adelaide, no one had ever won it from 5th spot or 6th spot. Now what?
You could win it from 8th.
So, what is going on?
Realistically, Rock, please. Realistically.
Get it down, Rock.
I had to get him on it, mate. Otherwise, where are we going here? Where are we going? Where are we going, Rocco?
I need a snack. This is a show.
Do you actually think? You want me to rephrase the question again? All right, fuck it. Don't worry about it.
I just think we need.
You guys think we're going to win the flag this year? You're going to go yes.
That's the question. We need just one variation.
I was going to ask the question, but you know what? Quentin, he was going to say yes. So, like, I'm just trying to word it a little bit different. But
now what you're doing. Now what you're doing is now
what always the Carlton bandwagon. It's always about Carlton.
Now what you're doing is no, it's not about Carlton. You asked me a dumb question. You asked me,
are we you guys will win the flag this year?
You asked me, are we contenders? I say yes. And then you're lost. You don't know what to do. Are you contenders? Can you win it? Can you do it from 8th? Can you do like you asked me a question and I said yes, right? Now you want to change it. Do you think you can win the grand final? You want to know? I think yes, we can win the grand final. We have a chance just like any other side. Now, if you want to ask me what, have Sydney got a better chance? Yes, they've got a better chance. Have Port Adelaide got a better chance? Yes, because they've got a double chance and they're playing at home and they probably don't have to travel to the last day. If you want to ask me, have we got a better chance than those? I'd say no, they've got a better chance. But if you want to ask me, have we got a chance to win the grand final? I'd say yes.
I do apologise to the Carlton viewers out there. I think the question should have been asked to Quinn or Manny. Okay, I shouldn't have asked that question to you because there is a lot of questions that are asked on football radio and TV. I should have asked Quinn, do you think Carlton are contenders to win the flag this year? Maybe that might have been the wrong question to ask you, Rocco. I do apologise for that. And then Quinn would have answered that.
The answer that Quinn
No.
give,
And then I would have said,
would give is yes, because the word contender means, are you in the position challenging for the cup? And yes, we are.
Other contenders.
Yes. Do you know what the word contender is?
Not to make the 8, not to make the top 4, not to get in the prelim, to win the flag. That's the question I asked. Are Carlton contenders to win the flag this year? You straight away said yes. And I maybe shouldn't have asked that question. I should have said it maybe to Quinn or Manny. And then after that, if Quinn said, no, I don't think they're going to win the flag, how far do you think Carlton would go this year? That was my question.
Well, that's a different question.
What I want to know is, well, are we saying, do we think they will, or are we saying we think that they can? Because that's a different question as well, because I've got a different opinion. For example, I don't think Carlton will win the premiership, but I think that they can.
They all can win the flag this year, Quinn. I'm not saying that they're all contenders in a way, but I think coming from Carlton's position, I'm just asking the question, are they contenders to win the flag?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Well, all teams are going to be contenders to win the flag.
All 8 sides are contenders. That's what the word contender is.
I know that, Rocco. But what I'm trying to say, if you asked me, maybe that question, Essendon just sat on 8th position, I would have said, you know what, Rocco? I don't think Essendon are going to make the win the flag. They're not contenders. They're just there. Well, they're just there to just, they might have made up numbers. They might make up numbers. You know what I mean? Like maybe Carlton are just here to make up numbers, mate. So you're not contenders at all, aren't you? So
ask me the question.
There's a bit of a theory in the question. Yeah? It's not just,
Manny, you should have stayed. You should have stayed off, Manny.
Like saying this, are you a contender to win this boxing match? Are you a contender? Yes, I'm in there, and I'm a contender.
If it's one-on-one, you're a contender, mate. But we're talking about something that's sitting on the bottom of the 8th, right? So the question was maybe more, I shouldn't have asked that question directly like that. I'm just trying to work out, do you guys think you can contend to make, you know what I mean? I think you know where I'm coming from, Rocco. You just
no, I don't.
Just if you ask me, a little bit more, right? You actually think Carlton's going to win the flag from that position, mate? All right, if you want to be straightforward.
Of course, I believe we can win it.
Okay, that's the question I'm asking. Yeah. That's it. That was it.
Welcome back, Manny.
Well, look, I turned on YouTube just to see, if the boys were still on, and to my surprise, I could see that.
Look what I'm fucking down to. I'm drinking fucking $100 bottle scotches, right? Because this bloke can't ask a question properly.
Well, can I just say that when you've got a 2-horse race, anyone can win.
This is one of your jokes, man. Is this one of your jokes?
No, not at all. Not at all. So in reality, when you've got, we talk about, a few weeks ago, people say, oh, Brisbane is unbeatable. Brisbane's unbeatable. And you know what? Brisbane came to Melbourne and Collingwood kicked the shit out of them. Yeah? Right? So therefore, it goes to show you that anything is possible. I honestly believe Carlton is going to go up there and they are going to really, really give Brisbane a run for their money. I really, truly believe that. And I can tell you right now, if Carlton does that, they are going to be coming back with bigger confidence. They're going to be coming, I'm telling you, because
they'll contend. They'll contend for the flag, then they'll contend.
But look, for them right now, you've got to remember something, Marco. They've managed to play finals football, and they're on demand. Yeah, they're on demand. They haven't got the players at the moment. So can you imagine now, right? All of a sudden, you're getting the phone call. Oh, right. So we've got this person coming on. this person coming back. We got this person coming back because Carlton, all they need is to get 4 or 5 players back that will build structure. And I can tell you right now, mate, they're going to be the one team that's going to make the other team sweat. I'm telling you.
The funny thing is that Mark truly believes, right? It's really weird, right? He truly believes that he actually said that if he made the 8, he would say, then why are we even there? Like,
That's right.
Why
as a
sporting organisation do you even play football?
Come on, Rocco. Be realistic, mate. Be realistic, man. All right. I just mentioned it before, mate. When a team finishes 6th, 7th, or 8th, very rarely they'll make the grand final and win the flag, right? They're just making up numbers. And that's the reason why I asked the question. And you know what? If you really want me to get right into it, mate, you boys are just making up them numbers. Make point Manny there. All of a sudden, I think it should be the.
Why would I care about
you? All of a sudden, he's getting to the Carlton bandwagon.
Why would
I'm not getting the bandwagon. What I'm doing is.
Why would anyone care about what your opinion is? I mean, you actually believe that you are the unlucky side not to make it. You know what he said before, Manny? That Gold Coast was lucky to win because that Gold Coast player was lucky to mark the ball. Like it's all about, for him, it's luck and unluck. Mark, seriously, man, I fucking hell, mate. Seriously. No wonder the Essendon team pumped those fucking drugs, mate. When you got supporters like you, I would want to pump as many drugs into my body just so I can end my life. I seriously, if I followed Essendon, I would actually end my life.
For next week, or we're doing it next week? We'll be right, mate. We'll be right. We'll be right.
I'm not going to be able to go to bed after this. So I'm not going to be able to sleep.
Hey, Mark, can I ask a question?
Did you just come back onto the show to shit me as well? Did you?
No. It's just that you're the one who invited me because you said this is a question that I need to ask Manny. Now, my question to you, Mark, is, right, and I asked you this question last week and the week before, and I reckon you must play professional dodgeball because you've been dodging this question continuously, right? And my question is, where does the Essendon Football Club have to start and say, right, you know what? These foundations are rotten, have been rotten, and continue to rot, because at the moment, it's you want to sit there and say, oh, we're one of the big 4 clubs, we're the powerhouse, but you're really not at the moment. You're not.
We are.
No, well, you're not. We are. When you think about it, you're not. You're not, because you're losing members. You can't even get the stadium, that little stadium, the one that's got the roof, to protect us because you guys can't play in the rain. You can't even fill that up, right? And then it's a real struggle at the moment. So my question is, where do you start?
Is this an under the pump question now? Is it, Manny? All of a sudden, we jumped into under the pump.
Well, you're sitting there talking about Carlton, who's playing finals, while you and I and Quinn, Quinn's team from the start, but your team, my team, we're going to be sitting there. We might as well sit there and get ready to play
Carlton playing finals.
So answer that question.
Carlton playing finals. Okay. Well, I wouldn't be too wrapped about the back to crap there. Collingwood Football Club don't even make it in the finals, mate. What are you using injuries as well? But anyway, we'll move on from that. What are we going to? Where are we going here, guys? Come on, we're going past the 3 hours here, Rocco. Come on, I've got a Manjari, mate. You know, I've got to cook the,
I think no.
I've got to cook the
You
pasta.
can
I've got to cook the pasta, Quinn. I've got to cook the
All
pasta.
you got to do is click a button and leave.
Ready?
Why don't you just click a button and fucking leave and be irrelevant like Essendon is?
I could do that quite easily.
Yeah, exactly like Essendon, irrelevant.
Well, what about answering that question? What about answering that question, Mark?
I'm not going to answer your question, Magpie Manny.
Well, you keep on. That's what I'm saying. You keep on dodging.
We're a bigger club than what you ferals are, mate. I'll tell you right now, mate.
In what sense?
Listen, I hate Hollywood.
Club, mate. We're a proud club, mate. We don't have to walk around
proud when you inject your kids with blood.
Missing and fucking full of fucking sleeve tattoos and fucking tattoos on our foreheads and walking around like two botches, mate. That's a club, mate. A club is respectful and gonna get there in the future in the long run.
Are you serious? Look, I hate Collingwood like to death. I wish nothing but misery for it. But what
do you want to say, man? It's all coming to me here. What's going on?
That statement that Essendon is a bigger club than Collingwood, for fuck's sakes, mate. Talk about brain aneurysms. I'm telling you, Hawthorn's a bigger club than you. Fucking Richmond's way bigger than you, mate. Like,
what do you mean by that? Well, like, what do you mean by what's bigger? As in membership or as in like funds? What do you mean by bigger? Membership,
attendance, success, absolutely a club that is respected.
Fuck, what success is coming? Don't give me shit about success, Rocco, mate. It's been 35 years, brother. I know you've got some big shows out there, mate, but at the end of the day, what success have you boys had, man?
How long's it been? How long's it been?
35 fucking 30 years, whatever it is.
How long's it been?
30 years, whatever it is, mate. Come on,
how long has it been?
Come on,
29.
Man. 29, 30 years. Come on.
In what you try to do, you just try to add to make it better.
What success is that, mate?
At the end of the day, Essendon can't put themselves anywhere near. I actually believe that St Kilda's more of a relevant side than Essendon.
Right, yeah. We just always go back to Carlton's going to be better and Richmond's going to be better.
And they get into grand finals, man.
We know, Rocco, it's a Carlton show. This is for the rivals, mate.
This is the only thing you're good at. This is the only thing Essendon are good at. You were pumping kids. Don't call that you're more respectful than other sides, man. You were pumping kids full of
Prove me wrong, Rocco, mate. When you win the flag this year, because you what is it again? What was that word? What was that word again? Guys?
What word?
When you're contenders to win the flag this year and you win it, Rocco, then you let me know, mate, because after that, we could be waiting another 10, 15 years.
The problem is with that, is what happens is no matter where we go to, like even if we make it to a grand final and lose, right, you would say, you would laugh. And even though you have not won a final in 8,000 fucking days, mate. Serious.
That's right. We won one in 2000. So we all keep on going. We always keep going to the history. We always keep going to history in football.
You just did it.
That's where the arguments are in football, because we're not looking to the future. We're always looking to the past. You know.
But you just went into the fucking past. You're done. You went 35 years. You're the one that brought it up. And then when I picked it up, you brought it up. You went 35 years. Then when I'm talking about the present is right now, right? We're playing finals and you failed again. So you can't win. You either talk about that and then you don't want to talk about it. We move into the future. You don't want to talk about it. We move into the present. You don't want to talk about it. Are you fucking serious, Mark? Clean up your room. Clean up your room before you talk about other teams, mate.
Can I say?
Before Richmond, Carlton, and Collingwood.
Can I quickly say who could potentially overtake the Essendon Football Club and join the other big three?
Hawthorn.
Which club would be close to that? Because
Tasmania.
Hawthorn, they've got 90,000 members.
I truly believe that Essendon, it's only because they had a name of the Big Four, but they're nowhere near the Big Four clubs at the moment.
I think, well, somebody just texted me because they said that the only reason why Essendon is one of the Big Four is because
Hawthorn
Collingwood has got that Anzac Day clash with them, right? That's created that kind of thing. But then we play Melbourne, and we've got the King's birthday. I don't know. But seriously, Mark, this is now week number 3. Your weakest piss, and not only that, I've got one of our viewers who actually wants me to say this joke on Manny Make Me Laugh, and I said, "Are you sure?" They said, "Are you sure?" And I said, "All right." And I said, "Okay." Now this is what they've texted me, right? Why did the sperm cross the road? Because Mark put on the wrong sock this morning. I want to say thank you to the viewer. I'm not going to say their name, but
I want to know who the name is. I want to know who the name is.
I think I have an idea who it was. I think I know who it was. That's great.
You have to finish off with a high, and you just did it there. That's probably been. No, I reckon your first one was one of the best, buddy. I reckon it was Scotty, man. He would have come up with that.
Scotty's been asking for someone to make him laugh for the last 45 minutes, so it's no surprise that he's come out with a bang.
That is with a bang. All right, guys, it's been a big show. It's been fucking 3 hours. I was actually saying before that this should be a quick show tonight because we haven't got much to talk about, and we ended up with that shit.
Rocker, can I just? Yeah, sorry, you're going to say that. Is that? Oh, you know what? All that's missing is a little red and black jumper, and that would look fantastic. But what I was going to say for this evening was to make everybody laugh, and it's a little one, but it's a dad joke if you want to call it that. But it was, why did the squirrel swim on its back?
Oh, it's something about its nuts, but go.
Yeah, to keep its nuts dry. Sounds a bit like the Essendon Football Club because they're dry as and they're not playing finals football again.
Hey, listen, to everyone, I mean, to tell you the truth, right? First of all, everyone in the chat, yous are a bunch of sick fucking fucks, right? Because there's still it's been 70 and 80 and 90 people watching all night.
Why?
I don't understand, man.
I don't understand it too, Rocco, mate. Fucking kick me out of the show, mate. Just be done within 2 hours.
I'm telling you, mate, it's just been it's just you're just sick there. Keep bloody putting out bloody comments out there. Quinny's drunk. I'm drinking bloody. I'm bringing back the Hennessy because I can't take this anymore. Now, if you've enjoyed that, there is some more tickets left. Let's get the last few sold because we want a full house, which we pretty much already have. I actually went down there today, and the cook there, fantastic bloke, was making fresh cannoli. He was making the pastry. He's filling them up, so that's going to be one of the meals on the night. So we got cannoli. So make sure you got Simon Wiggins, Heath Scotland. I might ask him I might ask them about contenders if they think they are. If when they were playing footy, if they thought they were contenders or just making up numbers. So get down there. The link is below. If you've enjoyed what you've seen tonight, you'll probably get a lot more of that there, but live. And in actual fact, because it's face-to-face, there might actually be some punching on while we're out there. So if you want to see that, we definitely can do it. All right, guys.
All right, mate. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there this weekend. So Happy Father's Day to all.
It is
Yeah, happy Father's Day to everyone.
Yeah. Definitely. And we'll be anyone that comes to the show, we'll be celebrating Father's Day too because it's the next day. So
and we can't even say good luck to your teams because there's only one team. Well, we're all going to say is good
not
luck.
even this week. It has to be next week. So we'll do that next week. So we'll be.
It only lasts 1 week, Manny. Don't worry, mate. It'll only be for an extra week, mate.
I'm sorry, I missed the but how many did I get this week on the total of the?
You got 8, but you still finished out of the 8, mate. You didn't finish in the top 2, and you didn't finish top 1. You actually, you know what you did? You did very similar to Collingwood. You made a little bit of a run at the end, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough.
No cigar.
Yeah.
Back the crap.
Anyway,
are you getting socks for Father's Day, Mark? Yeah, he might need them since the last one's a bit fucking
I
sticky.
get them every year. Socks and jobs. Socks and jobs.
Hey, the last pair's a bit soggy.
No, the show will not be streaming. We're not going to stream the show live, so you need to get out there and watch it live, right? So it's going to be good. I'm telling you, it's going to be. I'm really excited, man. We got some huge stuff going on, man. We're going there tomorrow and setting up. It's going to be some fun times on Saturday, and we get ready for finals. You've never heard that word before, have you, Mark? It's finals. It's a game. It's
a long time.
It's footy you play in September. You got no idea about that. All right, guys. Thank you very much. I am actually now completely worn out. I'm done. So let's say goodbye, and we'll see you on Saturday for the show. And if not, we'll see you next week. Everybody,
go Tigers.
Go to Dons. Go the Bombers.
Hot pie.